Well, good evening. Yeah, I just thought we'd hang out for a little bit, see if anybody shows up, wants to talk some baseball. Congratulations to the Cleveland Guardians and to the New York Mets. How about it? Guardians taking the Tigers in 5, and uh, Tigers have nothing to be ashamed of, man. Pulling all the right moves, coming on strong, and hoping the Motor City does it next year, big time. And of course, if well, no, we won't. We won't. We'll just leave it at that. So, yeah. So, still waiting for the new update for Pocket Pennant Run. I'm checking obsessively, but nothing yet. So, I guess Craig is doing a lot of work. Baseball for Windows 6.0 is out, and I have heard from Samuel Smith, one of our channel member of our family, said that there's some nice new, few new manager decisions and stuff like that, and Baseball for Windows 6.0. So, I may have to give it a go just for that, because I've been looking for things that will, you know, kind of benefit the game as a whole, and not just, what seems to be a lot of the changes are to incorporate 21st century baseball rules. So, yeah, so really looking forward to giving that a go here, maybe in another month or so. I'd like to get a little bit more feedback, probably go on the Delphi forums, because there's an APA Baseball for Windows part of Delphi there. So I also see, although I don't know where he is, that Dwayne Martz continued tonight, Game 2 of the 1911 World Series. So definitely want to catch that, as I'm doing 1911 in Baseball for Windows. And in fact, I forgot that I had a micromanager specifically created for 1911. And since I'm early enough in the season for that, I'm thinking about using him in 1911 as opposed to Johnny McCoy. So there's that going on. I haven't been doing a lot of baseball lately, unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever the side of the fence you are on this channel. But so a little Pocket Pennant Run here. I'm not sure yet what we're going to do. If we're just going to kind of quick play just two teams from history, or pick a day in baseball and play it, or just something random, just to see if anybody stops by. And if nobody does, well, at least we did a game. So yeah, let's do a quick play. Here. We'll just have a little bit of fun. I haven't done anything with the advanced rules yet, because Craig has there's somebody that's working on a guide for the advanced rules for this game, but because I guess of the changes that Craig is making, there's nothing forthcoming yet with that. The other thing is, Dwayne Martz told me that there's some pretty cool new changes, new additions, and can't spoil them. He shared them with me in confidence, but apparently there's some cool stuff coming out for the 13th edition of Digital Diamond Baseball. So looking forward to that. So yeah, let's pick a couple years here in baseball history. I don't know who we want to play against whom or whatever, and hopefully maybe somebody will show up and we'll talk some baseball or what have you. Let me see. What would be fun? What about the 1969 Mets? Why not? Let's pit them against somebody. I don't know who, but we'll figure that out. All right. And be fun to play against the Mets. Hey, there's Chris Slovic. How you doing, Chris? Yeah, just kind of hanging out, seeing if anybody shows up. The 69 Mets against the 72 Pirates. Okay, let's do it. Being a Pirates fan, I don't do a lot of Pirates on the channel, so why the hell not? I hope you're doing well. And hey, there's Dwayne. Dwayne, I just mentioned you. Wondering if you were around and stuff like that. Hope we get a little baseball chinwag going here or something. Again, Dwayne, as I mentioned, did Game 2 of the 1911 World Series, which is really cool. All right, so obviously we're going to have Tom Seaver start for the Mets, and let's have Oh, my goodness gracious. Do we want to go with Steve Blass or Doc Ellis? Let's go with Doc Ellis. Let's go with Doc Ellis. I think that'll be fun. Hey, there's Gary. Welcome in, Gary. Gary is our consigliere. Haven't had the chance to say that in a while. Nice to see you, my friend. Chris says it was free beer last night at the Muay Thai fights. Nice. That's fun. Little Muay Thai, a little bit of free beer. Must have been pandemonium and a lot of fun. So hopefully everybody's doing well. I put up a thing earlier talking about maybe doing a baseball chinwag or just something. The Cubs, the Bears, saying that right now he's out of power because of Hurricane Milton, and I answered back that I'm glad he's safe. So for all our friends in our YouTube sports gaming community who've been affected by these hurricanes, just hope that you guys are safe and all that stuff. And it's because the Bear says he has other priorities, and certainly I get that. So just hopefully that members of our sports gaming family are okay and they're safe. That's the most important thing. Baseball will always be around. So as Chris says, he is very hungover and red-eyed, as it should be. So Gary says he's been to Pattaya Beach. He says he understands. He gets where Chris is coming from. All right, so what do we got here? We're going to just play a little one-off game here between the 1969 New York Mets and the 1972 Pittsburgh Pirates. Some argue that the 72 team was even better than the world champion 1971 team. So looking at the lineup here, we have leading off for the visiting New York Mets in left field, Cleon Jones, batting second, and right field, Art Shamsky batting third. At second base, Ken Boswell batting in the cleanup spot, interestingly enough here. Tommy Agee, center fielder, batting fifth. Former Pirate at first base, Don Clendenin, batting sixth and catching. Jerry Grody batting seventh at third base. Ed Charles batting eighth at shortstop. Bud Harrelson, and starting Tom Terrific for the hometown Pittsburgh Pirates. Leading off in left field, Vic Davalillo batting second at the hot corner. Richie Hebner batting third, and playing center field, Al Oliver batting cleanup. Right fielder, the great one, Roberto Clemente batting fifth, and playing first base for the Pirates, Willie Stargell batting sixth. Second baseman Dave Cash batting seventh, and catching Milt May batting eighth, and shortstop Frank Tavares, and on the mound Doc Ellis, who probably might have spent some time at Pattaya Beach. Who knows? We know about one of those famous games that he did, right? So anyhow, if anybody wants to join, let me know, and we can just, bullshit some baseball or whatever. I think it'll be a lot of fun. But let's go ahead and get this thing started here. So yeah, I'm really enamored of this game, and I'm hoping that the as long as it's taking as long as it's taking Craig to do these new updates, I'm sure it's going to be worth it. It's just like I'm checking every day. Come on. Let's do this. Right. So Bill Verdon managing these Pittsburgh Pirates, and Gil Hodges, the manager of New York Mets. So one Hall of Famer here. All right. So Cleon Jones leading things off here for the Mets. And again, if anybody wants to come on, I'm going to do a little, not the end. Yeah. So let's just, that's how you do it. What am I thinking? I'll put the little thing on here. If I see anybody in the green room, awesome. Again, congratulations thus far to the Detroit Tigers, or to the Cleveland Guardians, I should say. I was rooting for the Tigers and the New York Mets. I live in around the Philadelphia area, and Phillies fans aren't too happy, but there's always next year. So what I'm not hoping for is a Subway Series, though. Really not looking forward. I hope that doesn't happen. A Mets-Yankees World Series. Be really nice to see. I don't know. I'd love to see like Mets and Guardians. I think would be a lot of fun. I think it'd be a great World Series. So we'll see. But again, to the teams that didn't make it, nothing to be ashamed of. So San Diego and Detroit, nothing to be ashamed of. Philadelphia. It was a good baseball season this year. Good baseball season. I was hoping that the that the Tigers would kind of be a, like a 1914 Miracle Braves type thing, last place in on 4th of July or whatever it was. I don't know that they weren't last place. That honor was held by the Chicago White Sox all this year in the American League Central, but not doing so well. And then like winning the World Series would have been fun. Let's look at our score sheet here. I love this is one of the coolest parts of this game. Of course, is the score sheet, all nice and filled out for you. Yeah, you gotta love that. All right, so they're calling Three River Stadium at Pitchers Park. So let's do this. All right, so here is Cleon Jones. All right, Doc Ellis is ready to deal. And this comes off the batter's dice, and this is a 9. And Cleon Jones opens the festivities with a single to left. So apparently in the new update, this is going to change too, the way you select plays and stuff like that. So that'll be really, really nice to see. Cleon Jones has some pretty good speed. So my house rule is if he has more speed than that catcher, he's gonna steal. I mean, I'm gonna see what the let's see what Gil Hodges wants to do though. See what he wants to do. Does he want to steal? Nope. So we won't. Okay. All right. Here's Art Shamsky now. All right. Ellis checks the runner. Oops. Of course he's not it. And here's the wind and the pitch. And this is a left-right. And this is a 2. All right. So there's no advantage. No advantage because we always go by advantage. This one is a grounder to short. And Art Shamsky is going to ground into a double play. How about that? All right. So we get a double play. Wait a minute. Let me check that because I don't want to cheat. Oh, this is a ground ball, grounder short double play, runners advance. So you got to remember to do that. All right. So anyhow, I don't know how many of you guys are playing this or not, but really, really just a fun game. So it's kind of weird to kind of try to call a game. There comes Tim, proud Cleveland fan. Let me just change up my sound here so I can get Tim on so that I can hear him through my headphones. All right, one sec, Tim. Tim can talk about the joys of being a Cleveland Guardians fan this year. See if they can finally break the drought that's been going on since 1948. All right. Tim.
Good evening.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
Oh, man. Well, Ohio State didn't do well, but hey, I got the Guardians and the Blue Jackets tonight, so that 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
There you go. How about it? So that I'll tell you what, that was a hell of a series. That Tiger team was tough, too. It wasn't like you guys steamrolled them. But
no. They were very tough. They pitched well. We didn't hit particularly well for 2 games, but
right.
That's why it's a 5-game series.
Yeah, it's got to be a lot of joy in Cleveland tonight. Especially, the Blue Jackets, the Indians or the Guardians, I'm sorry. Really, you guys, it's got to be your year, man. I don't want to jinx it. I'm just saying,
Well, the problem that I see is that unfortunately Lane Thomas is the only guy you can depend on for hitting, and power wins in the postseason.
Well, it does. Let's just hope. And you heard it. I don't know if you were here at the top of the broadcast. What I don't want is a Subway series. I do not want a Mets Yankees series. I hope that does not happen.
Well, either you get if New York wins, baseball wins either way. You either get a Subway series or you get Judge versus Ohtani.
Yeah, there is that. I would rather see again, what I want to see you guys. I want to see you guys in there.
Yeah, if you get
Guardians and Dodgers, I think would be a fun World Series. I really do.
Yeah, it would be. Especially if it gets to Game 7, then everybody's going to watch to see if Cleveland can end the drought. But if that happens, then let me see when Game 7 would end up being. They've already got the schedule out for when the World Series is.
Oh wow! Okay.
Let's see here. At least I thought they did. Maybe it's on the MLB app. But if let's say this, thank God when the Cavs won the title in 2016, it was on a Sunday, so everybody got their partying out of the way.
Okay.
By the time work started on Monday. Let's see here.
Yeah, I'm checking MLB too as well.
Game 7 would be on a Saturday. Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah, that would be. Well, let's it's been a good postseason. So I'll tell you what, we don't want to jinx the Guardians. So how about making a fearless prediction who's going to win the NLCS? I got to put you on the spot, Tim.
Well, okay, so the fair thing is that the Dodgers pitching showed they could be hit for 3 games.
Right.
So
San Diego played pretty tough, man. I was like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah, except for when the 2 games that it mattered.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
Yeah. But I mean, to me, the pitching edge has to go to the Mets right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, can they play good enough defense and get timely hitting? If the Mets win, it's going to have to be in like 6 or 7. If the Dodgers win, it could be in 5 or 6.
Yeah. Well,
I'll give my prediction. I'll say an upset, and we'll say Mets in 7.
You're going to say Mets in 7. Okay. I mean, the thing about the Dodgers is, they've had the best team in the National League, for so many years, but then they just seem to crumble. And I don't see that changing this year. So I'm liking your prediction. I'm not a Mets fan, but I would really, really like to see the Mets dispatch the Dodgers again. just to see the Dodgers dispatched again. I like the Brooklyn Dodgers, but the LA Dodgers kind of make me tired.
Well, yeah.
All right.
The problem is that who's won except for that one year that the Giants tied them, but got the tiebreaker.
Yeah. I was rooting hard for the Giants. Giants.
That's the one thing though MLB has to do is, after the wild card round, reseed the friggin' division series.
Yeah.
That's you can't mean to tell me that they can't, look, you're the lowest seed. If this team wins, look, you're going to the 1 seed. We're going to throw up brackets all together. Seriously.
Yeah. But of course the perennial question is, Tim, will they do it? Anything that makes sense for the game. It's I think Manfred is automatically just, well, we're not going to do that.
Well, okay, maybe you'll probably know better than I was, because I was a quite young pup before 1994. How long had it been talked about before getting a wild card?
Yeah.
I mean, that probably took 20 years of discussion over many commissioners.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, baseball, even if you remember in that, in the Ken Burns documentary, I mean, it is, it talks about baseball being a profoundly conservative sport that is sometimes ahead of its time, and which is true. But yeah, there has been talk of that. And well, let's go all the way back to, as much as I hate it, the designated hitter was first proposed in 1902, I believe, by the National League, and it was voted down. So it took when did DH come? Was that 73? 73. So a long time, 71 years it took to get the designated hitter.
And
so
the NL could have had it if the one guy hadn't been on a fishing trip, I believe, as the story goes.
Yeah, as the story goes. I mean, as a National League fan, now it doesn't make as much of a difference anymore. But I and a bit of a baseball purist in that respect, I was kind of like, okay, we're the only professional baseball league in the United States where, in the National League, it's the only one where the pitchers have to hit. And then now it's like, wow, sort of like divisional play. Divisional play is meaningless now too. Yeah, it really is. And I wish they need to bring that back, because divisional rivalries were just excellent. And I mean, so now it's just about the team you hate. So being a National League Central fan, I can't stand the Brewers. And so I was very happy, I mean, it felt weird to root for the Mets, but I did. I rooted for the Mets, and it was like, yeah, it worked. The Brewers are gone,
The ultimate mindfuck would have been for the language.
No, are you kidding me? Everything goes here. It's all right.
Guardians Brewers World Series when they used to play each other all the time.
Right. That would have been epic. That would have been epic. And I think everybody except those in environs of Milwaukee and the suburbs, everybody would have been rooting for the Guardians in that one. Yeah. I'm telling you.
It also befuddles me. They did the Wild Thing entrance for Clase today, and they put the Major League versions. And who in 1988 or 89, when they were filming that at County Stadium in Milwaukee, if they really wanted to make it the home stadium, gee, you think you might want to cover up the NBC station that belongs to Milwaukee instead of Cleveland?
Oh my God, right? I know. But here's the thing, though.
You gotta be freaking kidding me.
But yeah, I mean, you're right. But in a way, if you right, because what was so cool about that movie, right, is because I don't know, like, so I'm one of those people that, like, I'm really into like the Field of Dreams magic and the natural and all that. Major League happened the same thing, right? So they do the movie in Cleveland, Milwaukee, right?
Yeah.
And so it's almost fitting that it was messed up. But what happened just a few short years later, you guys catch fire. You guys are amazing, right? Yeah. You go, right? So, beautiful new ballpark, the whole thing. So maybe doing the Wild Thing today, the Wild Thing thing, right? Is going to be, that's a good omen. It's got to be, right? Because what is baseball if not superstition, right?
True. So unfortunately, that means that Terry Francona can't throw out the first pitch because he's property of the Cincinnati Reds now.
Oh, good point. Good point. So hey, man, are you doing any games? Like you rolling up any strat or 2
games uploaded today?
Nice.
So nice. I gotta get some more lineups ready. The part where I wish I could have like action PC baseball is knowing who's on the team on what day.
Right.
And I'm usually guessing. I have all the Indians transactions for 72, but I don't have anybody else's. So I'm
so spend $14 and get this game, and you can look at that. You can do that. You can.
What, this pocket pennant run?
Yeah. So if I exit out of this game and we pick a date in baseball history, you'll have the as played lineups and the transactions. Everything happen automatically in a season replay in this game.
Oh,
$14.99, man. $14.99. Yeah, I mean, I'm just like I said, I just picked 2 teams from history, but do season replay in this thing or just whatever. But again, and you're unlike, and I love action PC baseball, but geez, you get everything with this game. Like all the seasons, everything is in here. So that'd be something to think about.
That might be a nice Christmas gift for myself.
Yeah, maybe we'll have as the Brits call, we'll have a wet round for you, and we'll get a we'll get a community. I mean, my channel's small, so dude, that's about all I can. This channel can afford. We get $15. All right, we're gonna get Tim Pocket Pennant Run for Christmas. So everybody pony up, and I have enough subscribers that we might just get that $15 together, bud.
don't worry about it. Well, the people in I guess I shouldn't put it out loud, but it has sort of been out there that. There is a con coming, but it's way in the Northeast. And I'm like,
oh yeah,
they're doing a digital dice thing.
Oh wow, that sounds like a lot of fun. I haven't been That's why I'm asking, because I haven't been able to keep up with anybody's stuff. I've got a magic gig. I'm a sleight of hand artist. I got a magic gig coming up in like 2 weeks, and man, I've been just honing, practicing, rehearsing the whole thing. And so I've not really been doing anything, or letting Ernie Harwell do it. I haven't been able to keep up with anybody, because I like catching your games, and Chris is here, Chris Slovic, and I'm just so behind. I know Robert's doing his thing, Dwayne's doing his thing, and I'm like, God, I'm like, man, I just want to get on and just catch up with everybody, man. I'm so glad you came on. I really am.
Chris is saying that there was free beer at the Muay Thai fights.
Can you imagine that? You know what? You know that immediately made me think of, Tim, was Bill Veck's famous disco demolition night. So what was it? It was like dollar beers or something, or whatever the beers were, and everybody was supposed to bring their disco records, right? I guess it was in 1970.
That was August 1st of 79, right?
I guess. Yeah, I think so. And of course they had to forfeit the game because by that time that Comiskey was like completely torn up, and what a mess, right? So I'm just wondering.
So in a matter of weeks, you had Disco Demolition was on July 12th.
Right.
3 weeks later, Thurman Munson dies.
Ugh.
And then I was born a week later.
Wow.
After Munson died on August 7th, right?
Okay.
And I was born a week later.
Wow. So August 14th.
Yeah.
August 14th. So you're a day after my birthday. Cool.
Actually, it was August 12th. So it was about
a day before me then.
About 2 weeks later.
And that's the last time the Pittsburgh Pirates won the World Series. So, Tim, you need to be born again. I was talking to God, and I said, you need to be born again. Because if you're born again, the Buccos can win the World Series next year. So I'm going to work on you, man, even though I'm not an evangelical or anything like that.
You have to bring disco back.
Bring disco. I know, right? We are family. Oh, my God. Oh. So, I don't know. That's the thing. We Buccos, man, we have the second longest drought now. Right, two cities 85 miles apart, and we have the longest droughts of the World Series.
Right. Well, and thinking the Tigers now are 40 years.
That's true. So Tigers 84. Yeah, they beat San Diego. Yeah. So the Tigers, then the Pirates, then the Indians. Oh my God, three storied franchises. Well, what's the deal with that?
Actually, yeah, because they're 2 years longer than the Mets are.
Right? Yeah, they are.
Wow, they've got those are the 3 longest, I guess now.
Oh my God, it sucks being us, but at least you guys made it to the. We haven't been in the postseason since 2015, so that's ancient history. Yeah, 9 years ago.
See, that's the one thing about playing in a there's so much. How bad that they drafted, how bad management is. The whole Rowdy Tellez thing this year was absolute hot garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who wants to go there now? Oh, they're not going to pay me, and they'll hold me back if I try to get a performance bonus.
Yeah, he was believe me, there were a lot of Pittsburgh fans, myself included. We are so pissed off about that. And Nutting he has to go. He just has to go. He's awful. I don't know if he's the worst owner in baseball, but if he's not, he's one of the 3.
I will say this though: if Reinsdorf and the White Sox lose, we'll say 110 games next year.
Oh my God!
There should be an investigation.
They were just beyond. Right, because you were on. I think it was one of the Rare Nights I was doing broadcast. You were here, and you're the one that you announced in chat that they broke the old 1962 Mets record. So now they're God, what a dubious record to have, right? So they're worse than the 1985 Pirates. I never thought anybody could be, from that time onward, anybody could be worse than 1985 Pirates.
Games did they lose?
What's that?
How many games did they lose?
Let me look, because they sucked. Because that was also the year of the drug trials in Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah.
So it was just bad all around for the Bucks in 1985 and 86. 87 is when we started our whatever. Let me look them up here real quick.
It was. I'll tell you what. I got an equal for you. You have the 85 Pirates. I have the 91 Indians. Almost same record.
So we were 57 and 104.
And then the Indians were 57 and 105 that year.
Damn. Okay. See that? So Cleveland and Pittsburgh, we share more than just a football rivalry. Yep. You know what? I would love, though, will it happen? Probably not in my lifetime or yours. But a Pittsburgh-Cleveland World Series would be so much fun. It would be so much fun.
The smack talk between those cities would be fantastic.
It'd be brilliant. So I used to, Chris here says, nothing reminds me of that cheap hooker outside Nana. He puts up poor talent, but you keep buying it, but you never tell your friends you're a Pirates game. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So when I used to work, one of my times living in this country, I used to work in Pittsburgh as a magician and as a demonstrator at a magic shop on Carson Street. So Chris is from the Pittsburgh area, so he knows about the Carson Street crawl and all that stuff. Anyhow, I'm working one day, and it was slow at the shop, and so I just happened to just stand out front. Nice day, early fall, And I mean, so this guy, whoever he was, had balls the size of Cleveland and Pittsburgh combined. He's driving down Carson Street, and I will never forget it, man. It was a brown Volkswagen Bug, and it was festooned with Cleveland Browns, just everything. It was. I'm like, is this guy nuts? Real slow. And I mean, that was back when. So let me see. I worked there 2000 and 2001. So I mean that rivalry there, right, between this. I don't know a lot about football, but I do know about Steelers and Browns. That whole, wow, we hate you, we hate you, we hate you. And I couldn't believe this guy driving right down the south side of Pittsburgh, and he's honking his horn, Browns forever, Browns forever. I think because it was a Saturday, and I think the Steelers were playing the Browns the next day at I think Heinz Field was built by then, 2001.
Yeah.
PNC opened. I forget when Heinz Field opened, or whatever it's called now.
Acrisure Field.
Yeah, such bullshit. But so I wonder, have Steeler fans ever done that in Cleveland?
Oh, like show up to our stadium and taken over?
Well, like show up like with their car and having like black and gold all over the place. And
I'm sure they have. I've only been to maybe 3 Browns games ever in my entire life.
So they could go up there the old when the mob used to be around in Cleveland. Go up there to Collingwood. Get and try that shit. Yo, Goombas up there, man. John Scalish, they didn't have you whacked. I couldn't believe that, man. I was like, this guy has balls, man. Balls.
Yeah, and that was, like I said, I wasn't born at that time, but I did see the Kill the Irishman movie, and boy, Cleveland was a bomb factory in the 70s.
Just watched that movie the other night. It was one of my favorite movies. But yeah, it was bad. It was really, really bad. But Cleveland, I love Cleveland. I used to go to a Magic dealer over in Painesville, which is just outside of Cleveland, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but I used to always go and hang out in Cleveland. Cleveland's a fun city, man. I think it gets a lot of bad press. That's why I'm also hoping you guys get to the World Series. Get some national attention on Cleveland, Ohio, man. Because
although I will say this though, they have the public square area, and they decided to make a sign or new ordinance says you can only be in this area from 5 a.m. to midnight, except for the fact that the guy that made the sign did not spell the word violators.
Oh no!
And spelled it VIOLATERS.
Oh
and
no!
I literally found about 3 cops. I go, by the way, they spelled that sign wrong. And within, I'd say, a week, they had stickers over all the signs with the correct spelling.
Oh, God. Okay, so that's at least good. Let's hope that story doesn't come out. We don't want that story to come out.
I posted it on Facebook with the sign, so
did you?
Must have found it. So either that or it got handled quietly before it ever got to the news.
Oh man, I'm really, really, really pulling for you guys. I really, because I thought about I'm like, yeah, Tim's got to be happy. Come on, So you guys have to. 1948 is too damn long ago. None of us. Well, maybe Clinton Parks. Maybe Clinton Parks is the only one that comes to these channels that remembers when the Indians won the World Series. I'm not really sure of his age. Actually, no, because I think Bernie is 73. So Bernie wasn't alive yet the last time the tribe. So unless Clinton's older, and I don't think he is. I think Bernie is the elder statesman in this community. I don't think there's anybody that comes here that remembers when the Indians won, man. And I'm using the term Indians because they were the Indians in 1948. So
can I give you some good news? Do you know Marco Scola?
Do I know who?
Marco Scola.
Why does that name sound familiar to me?
He's a Cubs fan. Had the kidney issues.
Oh yeah.
He just posted something on Friday. He got a kidney transplant back in July.
Oh wow! Thank God. That's awesome. That is awesome.
So hopefully he'll get his gaming channel back.
Yeah. Let's hope. Always, we want that in this great community. But we lost some great ones this year in baseball, didn't we? And some very good ones.
Yes.
Tough year in baseball.
Actually, I just played one, and he was a Clevelander, Chuck Seelbach from the Tigers.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland, Ohio, our area, born and bred, stayed in the area. I think coached high school pretty close to his death. He passed this year. I can pull up Baseball Reference. Of course, you had Pete Rose.
Yeah. Willie Mays.
Yep. I think Orlando Cepeda passed this year.
Yep. Baby Bull.
Yep. So let's see here. And Louis Tiant just passed away.
Yeah. And the ball game got hit hard this year.
Chris at Delaware had a thing where he would play in memoriam for like all the teams, like all of those with the players that passed. Yeah, just look, and then let's see here, just the Hall of Famers. Whitey Herzog passed this year, manager.
Yeah.
Willie Mays. And that's about it. And
Willie Mays that's the one that really hit me because sort of like the Queen of England, right? Because the Queen of England, which is always around, man, that was like the one thing, right? You woke up, whether you're living in, or where I lived in Ireland, I lived in the Netherlands, of course here, but you open your eyes, and Queen Elizabeth, and that day she dropped, whoa! But it's baseball, right? Willie Mays, man. I could never imagine, and I never saw Willie Mays play, ever. I'm not old enough. You didn't see Willie Mays play.
Nope, I didn't either.
But just knowing that Willie Mays was alive, man, to me, Dwayne is going to get pissed off, but to me, the greatest center fielder to play the game, right? And this man, and arguably the second greatest player in baseball. And then when Willie, it was like, wow, I'm living in a world now where there's like Willie Mays isn't with us anymore. And it was weird. It was weird to me.
And the 69 Mets lost 2 members.
Oh, they did? Yeah. They was it no, not Shamsky. Who did they lose this year? Dwayne, get on here and start that shit. He's going to give me the Mick. Here we go. Mickey died a long time before Willie, so.
yeah, Mickey died in 1995.
Yeah. Mick was great.
Bob Harrelson and Ed Kranepool.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, Kranepool, that's right. Jeez.
He just passed away.
So, do you think baseball, now again, Shoeless Joe Jackson still not in, but here's the inevitable question. Do you think Rose has a better chance now to make it to the Hall that he's gone?
The only way that he could, or any of his, I say no, because you have to sign that agreement, and it's in every clubhouse.
Right.
The only way that they could do it would be to say, hey, look at all the ads on the wall promoting sports betting.
Yeah.
But in order to be a player, you have to protect the integrity of the game, and it's in every clubhouse.
Yeah. I mean, the tough thing is that, I mean, these things came about when he was a manager. I mean, as a player, but I mean, here's the thing, right? And I'm not disagreeing with you, but I think on their merits alone, both Jackson and Rose do belong in the Hall of Fame because their accomplishments as athletes, as baseball players, are undeniable.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And Ty Cobb probably did worse than both of them.
Oh my God. Well, and Tris Speaker for that matter. Sure. In fact, there's that little thing where, if you notice, Speaker and Cobb retired, quote unquote, in the same year. Apparently, there was some dirt on these guys that I think was Dutch Ruther that was either Dutch Ruther or Muddy Rule, one of those two guys. They were going to go public with it, and they told Landis, and apparently there was some stuff that went on, at least for a few books I've read, and Speaker and Cobb kind of just retired. Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, geez, Hal Chase. If you ever read about Hal Chase, it was almost like he was almost encouraged to cheat. Not that he could have been a Hall of Famer, I think, had he stayed honest. I mean, he was, premier first baseman and all that great player, but not at the level of Cobb and Speaker. But yeah, I don't know. I would like to see Rose in, but not before Shoeless Joe Jackson. And I figured Shoeless Joe Jackson died in the 50s, and here we are, 2024. So
yeah, so 74 years later, and he still hasn't gotten in. And I'll be long gone before he's probably ever considered.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, could you imagine the backlash for that commissioner who says, "Yep, it's okay, he can get in now"?
Oof. Yeah. I think he would get more backlash about Pete Rose than he would about Shoeless Joe Jackson. Because I think Field of Dreams kind of, in a way, kind of maybe romanticized a little bit the Shoeless Joe Jackson thing. And the fact that he played offensively well in the 1919 World Series, but apparently defensively, he kind of came up short on a few fly balls that he normally would have gotten. So, but Rose, that's right, because I think now people think about that. People don't really think about Shoeless Joe. It's Pete Rose. He was a cheater. He was this. He was that. He was also a great player, man, all-time hits leader, and could have played in any era. And in fact, he was a great player, and it was, and there was a time, who was trying to work with him? Was it Giamatti? I think it was one. Giamatti said, "Look, you got to do this, but you can't do this right now. But look, be quiet, be cool. You're hurting yourself. Give it time." And Pete Rose, may his memory be eternal to him, in my opinion, at least, I think was in some ways his own worst enemy. I think he was kind of throwing it in baseball's face, where if he just would have kept quiet, I think he might have made it in.
If he'd admitted to it right away,
yes,
and then. And especially the interview that he did at the time he did it, when they had just announced the Hall of Fame class, to say, "Yes, I bet on baseball."
Right.
Come on, Pete.
Yeah, just say it. I mean, and then
come out right at the beginning. Yeah, I did it.
Mm-hmm.
And then possibly, 20 years after that,
you're in. You're in. And and I think throw those years. I mean, Johnny Bench never had kind words to say about Rose, and you got Johnny Bench, who was so loved, and what a great player too. And it's like you think Pete, but come on, Pete. I mean, look, if you would admit to this, you might get Johnny Bench to sort of come around and say, "Look, Pete messed up. Da 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 da." Could have had some powerful voices there.
Yeah.
Again, and that's right. So we have the all-time hits leader, not in the Hall of Fame. We have the all-time home run leader, not in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. And so schools of thought on that, obviously, is one side's going to say, well, yeah, guys like Bonds and others cheated, but they brought baseball back in a lot of ways, right?
To be able to hit a round ball with a round bat.
Exactly.
And if you'd have seen
the, and no amount of steroids is going to help that.
No steroids going to help that. You're right.
No. Hardest thing to do in sports, hit a baseball, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I tried it for many years as a youth.
That's why I'm in show business. I was like, you could always get me out on the outside stuff, man, all the time. Didn't matter. Somebody you could drop a little change up in the outside corner, and I'm going to whiff at that thing so badly. And I'm like, I should be a musician and a magician.
Also, I think we didn't mess around with like the curveballs. I think we were smart enough not to do that.
Yeah.
Ours was, you located your pitches and, got out on. I was more of a up the middle opposite field hitter. If I pulled the ball, it was probably not hit very hard.
Yeah. But, it speaks volumes to just how difficult a game baseball really is. It's difficult, and it looks easy though, doesn't it?
The one thing that the pros make look really easily, and trust me, I did it in drills, is that little underhand flip to first base.
Oh yeah.
For the life of me, they tried to do that with me and I couldn't do it.
See, I'm a lefty, so I never had to deal with that. They're not going to put me at second base, so
Same here.
Oh, you're a lefty. You played in. How'd you play infield being a lefty? How's that work?
I didn't play third base.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I never understood why until I realized that it's been 40 plus years, or actually Chris Bryant might have done it, or some left-hander I think did it recently for an inning. And then like Don Mattingly did it for an inning.
Yeah, I mean it's a right-hander's game. Damn it! I mean I'm a lefty. Right? Because who was the last left-handed catcher?
You should know he was a Pirate.
I know I should know, and I can't think.
Benny DiStefano.
Damn.
In 91.
Yeah, and then before him, I mean, I'm saying hasn't been that many left-handed catchers or whatever.
Tom Squires.
Squires. Because I mean, you think about it, right? Or like you look at the infield positions other than first base, right? I mean, to the casual baseball fan, they would say, well, why not these guys? But it's like even just when you have to turn, right? So lefty's got to turn to make that throw. The righty, right? That little time, that little hundredth of a second makes all the difference in the world.
And that's why let's say this and a left-handed catcher would be screwed either way.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you might have an easier throw to second, but the throw to third's a pain in the ass.
Absolutely. And so
when I played at 13, the catcher that we had was left-handed, and it was like, well, then again, straight stealing a third really didn't happen that much.
Right. Kind of like modern baseball.
Yeah. and that's the other thing I wish that could rearrange I never steal third for Stratomatic because I don't feel like a 60% chance is worth it when you're already in scoring position.
Right.
But I'll play the hell out of the squeeze bunt.
Oh, of course.
Which thankfully the Guardians did on Thursday to get them the extra run. I was like, hooray.
Well, yeah. I mean, and
too, I was like, that with one out, that's the perfect time to do it.
It is the perfect time to do it. And I love it because again, you know, where I love all of baseball. My sentiment lies with the dead ball era. And I mean, you know, the squeeze was common then. And it's like, look, some of the stuff was good. You guys try it. You know, we don't always have to wait for the bases loaded and the big home run, you know, scratch out some runs. And so that was cool. That was very cool. And I still love a stolen base and things like that. But man.
We'll say that this year I was a little shocked. It seemed like every game I watched, I never saw a caught stealing.
Well, you got bases the size of pizza boxes, and you limit the pickoff moves to first.
Right.
Everybody can be Ty Cobb now.
But the caught stealing percentage was about 20%.
Who was running people as slow as Michael Evalia or something? I mean, come on. I remember Lanny Fratteri saying in a game one night he's slower than he looks. I don't know. But I mean, you know, I love stolen bases and all that, but there's limiting. I hate the fact that pitchers are I don't care if it makes the game longer. You know what? That's an integral part of the strategy. So you get base runners, they know how to game that, right? Okay, he's already thrown over his a lot amount of times. I can just go. Now it's up to the catcher to try to gun me down. Well, you know, I mean, I don't know how that improved the game by limiting, you know, pickoff moves. I think it, you know, I'm going to try not to get on a baseball rant again about Manfred because it doesn't matter. And at the end of the day, because we baseball fans like, yeah, he sucks. But what are we going to do? Right? We didn't vote him in, and we can't vote him out. So
can't vote him out. Can't vote him in. Actually,
we didn't. Right? Exactly. I don't know. I mean, we don't. It's not like we need a Judge Landis again, but we I don't know. We just need a commissioner that maybe I don't know. Here's a start. Maybe if he's a commissioner that's a baseball fan, that'd be nice.
Well,
that would be nice. So Tim's fearless prediction for anybody catching this later: New York Mets. You said Mets in 7, right?
Yeah.
Mets in 7. So, and we're not asking him about the American League because he has a horse in this race.
Yes.
So we don't want to jinx it. So, one thing, I guess the Tigers can be, and so don't guys. I mean, you know my political leaning, but I do have to at least say this: that if the Tigers had advanced, gone to the World Series, and the previous president had gone to see a World Series game in Detroit, he wouldn't have known he was in Detroit. As of course he told Detroiters, and you guys heard about this past week in Detroit. He said, if the other candidate, if she gets in, all of America is going to be like Detroit, and he said it in Detroit. I'm like, oh my god. Are you serious?
I did hear about that, yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. And I mean, it was like dead silence in the audience. It's like, dude, you're in Detroit, you know.
Yeah.
But so the Tigers could be happy about that. Although there was a big ad that was playing during, and I guess it's going to be in the Detroit Lions game tomorrow too. Detroit's really pissed off about that, and rightly so. Come on, I don't care. I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. Somebody's in your city and shits on it. That's not cool, man. Come on.
Plus, and let's say Michigan. Let's say that you've had shitty water in Flint. You've had poor, the auto industry in Detroit, not been the greatest.
I used to live 35, 40 miles south of Detroit. So, yeah, I know.
And then the housing market's, of course, not been great. So you get all these delinquent houses that they're trying to rebuild. And, it's not exactly gotten the greatest reputation. So, I mean, it'd be like.
Yeah, but it'd be better safe. Right, but you know what? Say that in like Louisville, Kentucky. Don't say it in Detroit. That'd be like coming to Cleveland, right? Same thing, right? Well, all the cities are going to be like Cleveland. I was like, dude, that was like major gaffe. Especially as a swing state. But anyhow, so the Tigers at least don't have to worry about that. But to be honest with you, I mean, I was hoping I like the Tigers. I'm a big Tigers fan, and I was hoping they would do well, but. If they're going to lose to somebody, I'm glad it was to you guys. And
if the Tigers would have won today, I'd have probably rooted them on when they played the Yankees.
Oh, you have to.
I made the joke that the last time I think I rooted for the Yankees was 1996.
I think Dwayne's blood is boiling there because he's a Yankees fan. I love it, Dwayne.
Sorry,
we love
Dwayne,
you.
but
we love you, man.
Well, partially it was because they played the Braves after they beat the Indians the year before.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was a good enough story where they weren't full-on spenders yet.
Right.
And so they were at least a likable team.
So, yeah, I mean, my thing with the Yankees is, right, so many great players. There's no denying it. I mean,
no, absolutely not.
Mantle, DiMaggio, Ruth, Gehrig, Whitey Ford. I'm going to get Dwayne pissed off again. I think Whitey Ford is a little tiny bit, maybe not. Well, I won't say he's a deserved Hall of Famer, but I don't think he's in the same class as guys like Bob Gibson, people like that. I'll leave it at that. But anyhow, so many great players. So I love the Yankee players, like they're great, but I hate the Yankees. I hate them. It's sort of like, who was the team that was it the Dallas Cowboys everybody hated in football at one time? I don't know who they hate now, but I know
the Cowboys are still there.
They're still there. They're hated. Okay. Mm-hmm. So the Cowboys are the Yankees of football. I know here, and even though I live close to Philadelphia, this is still Pennsylvania is overwhelmingly Pittsburgh Steelers, overwhelming. Mm-hmm. And so of course here they still hate the New England Patriots. And, if Tom Brady ever stepped foot in the Commonwealth, he'd probably be crucified.
It's sort of, I know there's some, I know there's one team now, like the Kansas City Chiefs, they make the Super Bowl. I think of it sort of like pro wrestling. The Kansas City Chiefs are your heel. You're a bad guy.
Right.
You got to get the good baby face to build up so that you get the matchup. I don't want to see the 49ers come in anymore because I've already seen this matchup. And did I watch the last Super Bowl? Not 1 second.
So a team that's been to that big dance but never won is the Minnesota Vikings, right?
Correct.
Because I think, didn't the Steelers beat them like twice or something?
Yeah,
I know they beat them once, but
yep. And then Old Man Willie with his little interception late in the game to steal that one against the Raiders.
Right. Gary says, I was born in Louisville. Don't drive. Oh, no, it was just the first. I know. All right, Gary, we'll say, don't say that in Philadelphia. There we go. How about that?
Yeah.
No, we'll just leave it at that. So Dwayne says, Whitey Ford, best World Series pitcher of all time. That's
a fair point, actually.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I got to give some love, and Dwayne, you should know this, right? You got to give a little bit of love to Deacon Philippe. I mean, after all, you did replay that 1903 World Series. But yeah, Whitey Ford, superb in the World Series. And I'm not saying he's not a Hall of Famer. He is, but I don't know. Maybe I set this bar a little. I don't. Whitey Ford had some amazing offense behind him. You can't deny that, and that helps. That helps. When I think of some of these pitchers slogging it out that didn't have it and compiled some superb records. But yeah, Whitey Ford, great pitcher. I just like to get on Dwayne's shit because he and I have this long thing going that he thinks Mantle's better than Mays, and I'm trying to cure him of his delusion, but it's not working. It's just not working. I mean, the night Mays died, he and I were debating. I was just like, so you got to love Dwayne, man, because he sticks by the Mick. He just sticks by the Mick, But then he was messing with me. I wouldn't even consider, which he said later, he just said it to mess with me. He's like, I wouldn't even put Mays in the top 5. And I lost. I'm like, what? Why? And he started laughing. He says, I'm fucking with you. Oh my God. I'm like, what are you talking about? The top 5. What are you going to put somebody in your high school there? I had a Willie Mays or something. I don't know. But yeah. So this is the first year I've kind of followed baseball more closely and than I have in a while, and it was fun. It was really fun. I didn't follow it as closely as I did when I was a kid or something, but I've come to this realization: baseball is what it is. They changed it so much. I still love it, and it was kind of fun following the pennant race, and really excited for this postseason. It's been cool so far. See, there's Dwayne. There he goes. The best center field New York was Mays. Dwayne, you just have to come on here. What are you afraid of? I put the link up. What are you afraid of? But yeah. So
a lot of it is that when you get older, you just don't have the time or the energy to keep track of all the players. Like I played fantasy baseball back in the day, I did keep track of all the guys. Now I can't, there are certain teams where I don't know any players.
Oh, same.
And it's like, or who is these middle relievers when the relievers actually mattered? Now they're a dime a dozen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, as kids, we could name everybody on every team, even teams we never saw,
Right.
Yeah, but not now. I mean, so where I kind of stopped, obsessively, not that I stopped I love baseball more and more every year. The concept, the game, like you say, doing sim leagues and stuff like that. But I think I stopped following baseball pretty seriously after sometime in the 90s. I was in college. So it was when that 1992, actually, that heartbreaking night, and that was it. I was like, oh my God. And then, because you're a Pirate fan, and it's like, and Sid Bream still has the balls to live in the Pittsburgh area. So, but then again, we shouldn't have got rid of the rate, Francisco Cabrera and whatever.
Yeah. But it hurt, man. You let him get, and then Bond's not listening to Andy Vince to get over to the right position.
Right. Well, I know. We should have won. Oh well.
The whole shame of it is that a manager from Perrysburg, Ohio, had to win it as a Marlin against his own state's team.
I know, right? God, I'm glad Jimmy's in the Hall of Fame though. But damn it, Danny Murtaugh still not in the Hall of Fame. Billy Martin still not in the Hall of Fame. What the hell's going on with that? Dwayne rightly pointed out that pretty much every franchise that Billy Martin went to, he turned around.
Yeah.
How's this man not in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, well, technically, you got we had at least the best year of the 70s with the Rangers.
Yeah, exactly. What, 77, I think it was, right?
Yeah.
77 Rangers, yeah.
78, that one of their best years. And trust me, I'm playing I just had 2 games from the Perry replay for the 72 Rangers where they hit 219 as a team for that year.
Kind of like the hitless wonders of 1906.
Right.
Yeah.
Except they didn't win a whole lot.
Yeah, and at least the hitless wonders made it to the World Series, so maybe bad analogy.
No, I get it.
Yeah. So Dwayne, what are you're typing all this crap, but you won't come on here. See?
Okay, Herman Edwards. You play to win the game.
Yeah, play to win the game. I thought you played to get the chicks, but hey, what do I know, man? I mean, who is it? What's his name? So what do you think about Paul Skeens, man? Hey, this guy gets drafted out of LSU, starts this year in the minor leagues, and ends up rookie of the year. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a great story. I mean, you just hope he doesn't end up like Steven Strasburg.
Oh God, I know. Hey, Dwayne.
I mean, the thing of, I still don't understand. I guess
if you play to get the chicks, you're telling me May's got more chicks than Mick? Get out of here.
The checks, not the chicks. The checks.
He's on. He's here.
What the hell you want to say that for? Mick got more women in one night than Mays did his whole career.
Dude, I love getting you fired up. It's fun.
Sure.
So Dwayne. Oh no, you know what? You can't make a prediction either because one of your teams is in the postseason. So so how about what's your fearless prediction for the National League, Dwayne?
That they both fucking beat each other up. I can't stand either team.
Okay, but which one do you hate less? Which one is your loathing not so deep?
I'll put up with the Dodgers because they got Freddie.
Okay, you're gonna put up with the Dodgers. So, but you don't hate those teams on the same level that you hate the Giants, correct?
Probably the Mets are right there.
Really?
Yeah.
Real? Because I mean, your hatred for the Mets is it's legendary, or for the Giants is legendary. It's legendary.
But the Mets are just like the Giants was when they was in New York, second-class citizens, boo-hooing and crying all the time.
Oh man.
They can win 7 World Series in a row. The Yankees could finish last 7 years in a row, and it's still a Yankee town. I hate the town, and it always will be.
I think Cleveland's going to play tough. I think
like the Lakers out in LA, the Clippers could win every championship, and the Lakers lose, and it's still a Laker town.
Yeah, that's because they got Jack Nicholson sitting at courtside all the time. So
same thing with the Yankees. You're always going to be second-class citizens to the Yankees. So stop your whine.
Stop your whining. So I think Cleveland's going to play the Yankees tough. They're going to play them tough. Cleveland. I don't know, man.
The pitching they did in that division series. The bats didn't win it. It was the pitching. Who would have thought that?
Yeah.
Just like the Orioles losing. Who would have thought the Orioles would have lost, giving up 4 runs?
I thought the Orioles, but again, see, that's why I don't like to make predictions or jinx anybody.
Give up 4 runs. I tell you, they won the series.
Well, I was looking for the Orioles to take the American League East. I really thought they were going to, and boy, that didn't happen.
Yeah,
but then again, the Cubs. I was rooting hard for the Cubs in the NL Central. Didn't happen. Yeah. The NL West, National League West, that was decided from the opening day. Everybody knew it was the Dodgers. No surprise there.
No.
So although San Diego, man, they did all right. They did all right. Nothing to be ashamed of. Right.
Or you could have been the Mariners, who were 10 games up in the division and then not even make the playoffs.
Right.
Saddest team in baseball. Probably the best team in baseball to never make the World Series, the 2001 Mariners.
Yeah.
God, I remember that, man. It was like the whole country was rooting for those guys. What's that?
The Indians exposed them in the 5-game series.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Jamie Moyer, they would have gotten beaten out of the playoffs. They got exposed. Now, granted, the what was it, a 5 or 6 game series? Now, a couple of those games that the Yankees won were close. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
But they got exposed in that series. The Mariners did.
Yeah.
But they had 2 chances to play for the pennant, and now 47 years as a franchise.
Yeah. And never have been there yet. I think they're the only team in baseball to never be in the World Series, correct? Yes. I think it's just the Mariners, and that's all. Everybody's been there at least once. Not to win, but at least they've been there.
Right.
It's got to be so hard to be a Mariners fan.
Yeah.
So here we go again.
It's almost like what will happen first: the Mariners making the World Series, or the White Sox paying somebody $10 million a year.
Oh shit! The White Sox, man. I'll tell you what, because I would go on the White Sox site every once in a while, just to see, because it's like, okay, how are you gonna? I mean, the Pirates did not do well this year. We were 8-9 games below 500, something like that. So we did not do well. Mm-hmm. But oh my God, I mean, Chicago was so abysmal. And we're like, okay, how were they? Because you got to try to spin positive for your team somehow, and you would just get these goofy little stories. It's like, and I felt so bad for the sports writers because like, well, you guys are really trying here. You're really trying, but it was just it was so bad.
To be fair, they had two players good they could write about, and both their names, first names were Andrew.
Yeah, no, that's those were the stories I would catch.
Or the one pitcher Crochet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's about all that you had.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, trade him. It's like, how are you going to put butts in? And like, you barely put any butts in the seats to begin with.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think Oakland almost outdrew them this. I mean, Oakland had a better record this year. That's saying something.
And to be fair, they were improved by, I want to say, at least 10 to 15 games.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone wants to talk shit about it, but that Butler kid in Oakland's going to be a stud.
Yeah, absolutely.
And him and Geloff could be the anchors to, I don't want to say rebuild, but I mean, like if you win 5 or 7 more games, you're starting something.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel badly because I think that if Oakland, because Oakland's lost everything it's had, right? This is it now. When the A's leave, there's there's Aaron Reed. There's no major league sport there now. They're like, again across the bay. They just build them. They should just build them a damn ballpark. Instead, they're going to Las Vegas, and because you saw the story this week, right? The Tropicana was imploded, and that's going to be the site.
Just going to bring that up. That the roof got torn off, and I joke with somebody. I said, how funny would it be if the Rays had to play all their games in Oakland?
Yeah.
So that they trade one shitty stadium for another shitty stadium.
Yeah, it's and it's such a great franchise, the A's, and I mean here they are. I think they're the first one now. So what? Philadelphia, Kansas City, Oakland, Las Vegas. So first team to be in 4 cities. First franchise that's existing, right? Because let me see who's made moves that like that. I'm trying to even think because
you had St. Louis to Baltimore.
Right, St. Louis to Baltimore. You had Washington to Minnesota.
Yep.
You got the Braves.
New York to LA.
Right, the Braves went from the Braves were
Boston,
3 cities.
Milwaukee,
Boston, Milwaukee, Atlanta. Yeah, so the Braves were 3 cities.
Yep. Yeah. And then technically Seattle moved to Milwaukee.
Right? Yeah, because they were the pilots in '69. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But 4 cities now for the A's, and what a great. I mean, you talk about a franchise that had some great players in its history. I mean, we were talking about the Yanks before, but the Oakland
Yankees moved from a shitty place called the Polo Ground to the house that Ruth built.
Yeah, and then the owners tore down the house that Ruth built to build. Yeah. I mean, come on. So I think I hate the Yankees because I hate the Steinbrenners, Dwayne. I think it's not so much the Yankees.
I never liked George, but I'll say this: out of all his stupidity and all he did, it was to try to win. It wasn't to do anything else. I'll give him credit for that. I disagreed with a lot of his decisions, but it was all about winning.
I mean, but it'd be like the Catholic Church tearing down St. Peter's Basilica to build St. Peter's Basilica next door. I mean, it just didn't make any sense. It's like this thing is a treasure. You tore down Yankee Stadium, you asshole. What are you thinking?
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'll give him credit. Everything he did was to win.
Yeah, he did. Well,
the one thing that he did do was had to be put on suspension so that Gene Michael could develop talent to get them for 15 years. You think they'd have kept Jeter, Posada, and I'm missing one other one, but Bernie Williams. Do you think they'd have kept those 3 around if Steinbrenner was in office? No.
Oh, and Bernie I mean, we know about the other guys, but Bernie Williams was like, he was adored in New York, by the fans. Everybody loved Bernie Williams. Yeah. I don't know. What's that? Jeter, he's head of baseball operations or was for what club? I forget.
The Marlins.
Marlins? Okay. Miami, yeah.
That franchise pisses me off. They the one they got to the playoffs when Eng was their GM or their president, and then they wanted to demote her.
Yeah.
Does not compute.
Does not compute. Yeah, they're a bizarre franchise for sure.
They are. I mean, good Lord. It's want to talk about Cleveland in the 70s having an all-star at every position. You could almost done that with the Marlins.
So Aaron says that Bernie Williams is a musician in
Puerto Rico. Yeah, he's been a long-time musician.
What's he play? I didn't know he's a musician.
Just the guitar.
Oh, he's a guitar player. Okay, I'm a keyboard player. So just one. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, plays his acoustic guitar, sings.
Awesome. Didn't know that.
This little thing, yeah.
See that? Smartest community ever here. Dude, you should be on. I've said how many episodes. Tim should be on Jeopardy. You should be, Tim. Then you win Jeopardy, and then you'd be able to buy Pocket Pennant Run. so Dwayne,
the problem was that. My problem is opera, art, like literature, all that stuff.
Good. So if we ever play Trivial Pursuit, I'll know which.
Because
that game's making a comeback. I saw it in a couple stores. I'm like, oh my god. But okay, I'm going to remember that though, Tim.
Yeah.
So you're like geography.
Sports Jeopardy would have been my jam.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my god. It's crazy some of the facts that you come up with.
Yeah.
D. Scott Howard joining us here. Hey, D. Scott.
What's up, D. Scott Howard?
So, Dwayne, I didn't tell anybody. I don't know that I was at liberty to. I know you were talking about. Thank you for sharing that little tidbit about version 13 of Digital Diamond, but I didn't tell anybody what it was because I didn't know.
Oh, it's on Facebook. It's cool.
Oh, so okay, Dwayne, why don't you broke the news to me? Why don't you tell everybody what's gonna? Because I think it's exciting.
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
Do you mind telling everybody?
Sure. They're going to have Status Pro engine inside of Digital Diamond version 13. You play it, and it'll do everything for you.
That is awesome.
You can also use it for the autoplay.
I think that's just brilliant. When you told me about that, I'm like, oh my god, that's great.
Yeah, because I wasn't too sure if I was going to get 13, depending on what he put in it.
Right.
I will now.
Yeah, I guess there's no use doing
to get the Status Pro export.
So there's no use of us doing our tutorial then, because now that it's going to use the engine, what's the point, right?
I mean, you can still use the board game companion.
Right.
You don't have to use the engine.
Yeah, but I mean, I was saying like just for us to show how to play Status Pro. Now that that's actually just going to be, it's going to be right there.
All you guys just click buttons.
Yeah, just click.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited about that though. I really am. So you probably see a lot more Digital Diamond on my channel next year after that comes out because I love Status Pro. What's that? March? Okay.
March, yeah.
So that's my baseball buying schedule was December's Action PC, and then when Digital. So he's going to actually try to make it before opening day this year. That'd be nice.
He says that every year.
I know. It's like I want to see him beat Out of the Park 1 year, just 1 year. Come on, Mark, you can do this. Mark doesn't know my channel from anything, but it would be nice to that game. I mean, God, Dwayne, you should be like the ambassador for Digital Diamond Baseball.
So it changed my life for real. That's not a lie.
Yeah,
got me back in the APA big time.
Yeah. So how far are you in your bats league? How far in you? Because again, forgive me, man. I haven't been able to catch up with anybody.
Around May 4th and May 7th, depending on what team. And I'm almost done May in 78.
Okay. So you're still doing that. You're still doing that 70. What is there? 78?
78. Like I say, I'm almost done May in 78.
Okay. And then you got the World Series thing going. Tim told us he has 2 games uploaded on his channel today, guys. Check it out.
He did 2 Gaylord Perry games.
2 Gaylord Perry games. That's good. So plenty of Vagisil and all that other good stuff there. Yeah.
Alleged.
Alleged. Yeah. Right.
And he got caught once. The rest was just for show.
So obviously, who was the pitcher? Because Tim and I were talking about the Major League movie.
Oh, Harris.
Yeah, I mean, clearly it's Gaylord Perry. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Yeah.
So who would the Rick Vaughn inspiration be? Like, I can't remember any star flamethrower ever wearing glasses.
I do. And I didn't get to see him play.
Who's that, Dwayne?
That was the boy from the Yankees, Rhino. Ain't that awful? I'm terrible with names. Closer for him back in the 50s and 60s. And he went to
well, besides Kent Jacoby, but he wasn't a hard thrower.
Nah.
No.
Let me see here. I'll bring it up.
Jacoby had that awesome that delivery though, like just messed with batters' heads though.
It did.
There, Ryan Duran is what these guys is.
They had said he used to throw the ball and it'd go over the backstop and all kinds of stuff when he was warming up. He'd walk 4 guys and then strike out the next 3. So
that's the inspiration for that thing.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
His glasses was as thick as Pepsi bottles or Coke bottles. Yeah. You didn't dig in against him. You didn't know if it was for show or if it was for real.
Yeah. Well, I mean, somebody throws fire like that and they're wearing glasses like that.
Yeah.
I don't.
And I'm sure Yogi helped him out and told him, "Oh, he's got it." I bet you Yogi was back there telling him, "Man, he doesn't know where the ball's going."
Well, you're making me think of is Bull Durham, right?
Yeah.
Because he's telling Nuke LaLoosh, right? Hit the bull. Just hit the bull.
Right. Yeah, he said, hit the fucking mascot.
Hit the fucking mascot. That's it. Yeah.
That's when he got his control under there. He was doing pretty good and hadn't walked a guy in a while, and he says, hit the damn mascot.
Well, it was, but it is what Doris Kearns Goodwin said in the baseball documentary. She's just like that pitcher and batter. She's like, it's the same as 2 prize fighters, and I think she's right. You have that confrontation, and you're gonna, each is trying to get at the edge on the other because nobody can swing that bat for you, and nobody can throw that ball for you. And it does come down to those 2 guys. And I think that's what makes it great. No other sport that's like that except Blackwell. I mean, a team sport, there isn't, right? I mean, I guess MV might argue cricket, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you know more about cricket than I do, Dwayne. And I actually probably have seen more cricket than you have live.
Although I just watched that documentary and stuff.
Yeah,
it was pretty cool about the Australians.
Well, I bought the damn cricket game. But I'm not involved at all in the Fields of Dreams community, so I haven't been able to keep in touch with MV. So I still want my live tutorial so I can actually play the game, that Cricket 24, whatever. Not the one that has like the PS4 graphics, but the other one that looks more like out of the park baseball. That's the cricket game I bought. But I know just enough cricket because I've seen, like I said, I've seen a lot both in Europe and then when I went to Penn State. We had like cricket pitches there and stuff like that. So I know enough about cricket to know that I won't know what the hell I'm doing. So
I kind of feel like that way about Australian rules football.
Yeah, but it's fun to watch. That's fun to watch, Tim.
Yes. Oh, it's a freaking blast. Like I almost stayed up for the grand final 2 weeks ago. Although
I love when they play New Zealand. It's epic with the Australia. I love it. Well, I don't understand.
Are you saying rugby or Aussie rules football?
What's that?
You're mentioning rugby or Aussie rules football?
Well, Aussie rules, but I mean, just when Australia and New Zealand clash in anything, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. But see, I got to root for New Zealand because it's Middle Earth. You get it? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm a Tolkien geek. What can I say? But no, Australian rules football, I have no idea what the hell they're doing. I think the referees are funny with their flags and shit like that. But I love that game.
Flags. Basically, it's you can't like literally throw the ball besides the fact the football's huge. There's a punching the ball forward and you can only take so many steps before you have to dribble the ball. They do call it if you take too many. I mean, granted, it's like 12 steps I think you can take.
Right.
And then if you kick the ball and then somebody from your own team catches it, it's called a mark where you get essentially it's stops for a second. The defender has to stay there, but the guy who catches it can, do what either kick the ball right away or kind of go for like a set shot if it's within 50 meters. So they can kick the ball a ways.
Right.
And the latest grand final, oh, doctor, that was a blowout.
I'll bet.
120-60.
You know what the game reminds me of? Even though, and I mean, it's a fantasy game, right? But you know the game Blood Bowl, right?
No,
so it's supposed. Oh, you never heard of Blood Bowl? Oh my god, it's so much
it.
fun. So it's set in the Warhammer fantasy universe, and it's like supposed to be based on American football. But it's like really brutal, and there's death and magic spells and all stuff. But the way it's played, and when I used to play Blood Bowl, I'm like, this is more like Aussie rules football, the way it plays. But you're just as you were talking about that. Mm-hmm. But I so you know way more about Aussie rules football than I do. I used to watch it. I loved it, man. I was in college, and I'm like, Aussie rules football's on, man. I gotta watch it. I'll write this paper later.
I believe that I don't know how long the contract's up, but the Fox Sports 1 and Fox Sports 2, those are your channels to watch. And if you want to watch the Canadian Football League, it's on CBS Sports. Although, for some reason, and I understand why, because they're on CBS, you have to be online to watch the Grey Cup. And I'm like, God damn it, come on.
Yeah, it's monetized everywhere, man.
It's actually not. You can get their CFL Plus for free.
Oh no, I didn't mean the CFL, but I mean like, I remember back in the day, man. So I got a few years on you. I'm not a lot older than you, but I got some years on you, brother. Mm-hmm. And I remember when you could just, you could watch the World Series and you could watch, I don't know, right? I remember being able to tune into WGN and watching Cubs games and stuff like that. And you can't do that anymore. TBS for the Braves, PIX for the Yankees, whatever.
WR for the Mets.
Yeah, no more. Nope. Well, maybe for the Yankees and Mets, but I know WGN, they don't carry any baseball anymore. They're
in fact, they have their own network now for the Cubs.
Yeah.
And then the White Sox were, I think it's now called Chicago Sports Network. It was NBC, but then they ended it, I think, sometime this year. But yeah, everything's all regional sports now. It's like, the only time I got to watch Indians games is when they were on the local channel.
Yeah. And for me, I mean, even though it's not a lot of money, we were talking about following baseball closely, like it's not worth it for me to get MLB Network because I just don't have time. I mean, if I was, like I'm not near it, but if I was old enough to be retired or something, I'd probably get MLB Network because I'd have all day, man. I could watch baseball all day. Everybody.
Fair.
They
don't. The games still show like an afternoon game, but it's a lot of Yankees, a lot of Red Sox, and a lot of Dodgers.
Yeah, but you can. Yeah, not. Yeah, MLB TV is what I'm thinking. Not MLB.
Okay.
MLB TV.
Yeah, MLB TV is the one.
That's what I mean. Because then I could watch everybody. Aaron Reed says, "Go Guardians, baby." He says, "For the land." So there you go. Got a couple Guardian. So. Again, I can't ask Dwayne. So we know Aaron's rooting for Cleveland. Cool. Anybody else in the chat, excluding Dwayne and Tim, because we don't want them to, they each have a horse in this race. Anybody else have a fearless prediction out there, National League and or American League? Please feel free to share. So if you do. Because all the team, I'm Cleveland now. That's it. I mean, I'm not rooting for it. It's got to be Cleveland, man. I'm going to be rooting hard for you guys because I don't want the Yankees to win. I don't like the Yankees, the Mets, or the Dodgers.
And D. Scott Howard, it's like one day a week. You got this. Some people just only got the Saturday game of the week.
Oh, man. Dizzy Dean and Pee Wee Reese. There we go. He says, back in my day, it was one game a week with Diz and Pee Wee. Yeah. Aaron's saying Dodgers, Guardians in the World Series. Cool. I think it'd be a great World Series. I will
say this though: the last, I'm trying to think, since '95, I think they played 5 series. They played '97 division. This is for the Guardians, and they won.
Right.
Lost in the '98 ALCS.
Yeah.
They beat the Yankees in '07 in the division series, and then lost in 17. And then 2020 and 2022. So they're like 2-4, 2-5 in playoff situations.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's time. I mean, while we're having a Chinwag, I'm just gonna fire up a let a Diamond Mine game play because I'd rather listen to you guys and talk to you guys than pay attention to Pocket Pennant Run. But it is time. It is time for Cleveland, man. It is your time.
I was just looking at this on Facebook. Larry Bird playing Sean Kemp for the first time. Larry Bird asked him right before the jump ball. He says, "You're the one that broke all my high school records, right?" And Kemp says, "Yeah, that's me." Larry goes on and says, "You're the one that used to dunk on my brother Andy, right?" He says, "Yeah, that's me." Larry says, "I got something for you tonight." Larry scores 40 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks. Sean Kemp, 5 points, 1 rebound, no assist. Larry Bird. Man.
It was a great one, though, huh?
Oh, man. Talk shit and backed it up on, almost every time.
Oh, yeah.
Who's finishing second?
That's all what he said with his jumpsuit still on.
Yep.
Never took his jumpsuit off.
Right. Or the fact that he had Atlanta Hawks players marveling of him putting 60 on them.
Yeah, that was a game for the ages, him and Dominique.
Well, not in the playoffs. This was this wasn't.
Yeah, that was him. Dominique scored about 40 or 50 points that game.
Jeez, that part I don't know, but I know it was it
was a back and forth game
or something.
What's that?
It was like a neutral site game, I think.
It was in Hartford.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah. Because if you look at the courts, you'd almost think it was in Atlanta with the red flooring.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I forget what year they stopped going to Hartford and playing.
Oh, it was, and then the Packers played in Green Bay for a few games until they realized that County Stadium couldn't hold them that much. It was a weird look for that.
Yeah, both teams being on the same side of the field.
Well, and the funny thing is, Northwestern has this 12,000 seat stadium that's right on the lake, and it's got all this and all that. Why do we want to build this something new? It's like because. Larry scored 37 points in 3 quarters versus Portland left-handed. Wow. Yeah. And sadly, the only time I remember facing them is his last year in 92 against the Cavs in the semifinals. Of course, that was the first Cavs team that I remember ever getting past the first round. So...
This is just nice to be able to just catch up with everybody and just talk some baseball and stuff. D. Scott says Larry scored 37 3/4 versus left-handed. Yeah, he was. Who was it was talking about? Was it Michael Jordan? Somebody was talking about how Larry Bird, right? I mean, it was another basketball legend. I don't know if it was Jordan or who it was.
Yeah, Michael says he's the greatest.
Yeah, and I mean that's saying something right there. Yeah. I mean, Michael Jordan might not have been a very good baseball player, but man, basketball, oof.
Yeah.
And to say that about Larry Bird, what was that Commodore 64 game? Larry Bird, was that Larry Bird and
Dr. J?
Dr. J, is that what it
was?
One-on-one, yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. Larry couldn't miss a 3-pointer in that game, for real. It was impossible to miss a 3-pointer with Larry. And Dr. J, you could drive almost any time you wanted and score.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So Tim, are you looking at any sort of new baseball sims coming down the line that you might be thinking about purchasing or anything?
I got barely enough time to I have 97, 98, and 76 that the only thing I touched from 97 is I did one game of the 97 versus 2016 Indians.
Okay.
And I have a thing where I want to play the sets that I have before I start thinking about getting anything else.
Right. Okay. I got you.
So I'm not a guy that will just buy a whole bunch of stuff and then, oh crap,
Yeah.
Just have it just to have it. I want to.
I don't know, man. We still got to get you Pocket Pennant Run for Christmas.
I know. It would certainly help with these, the daily rosters would be the biggest thing. Like, that's the one thing I'm surprised hasn't happened. Like, the Hall of Fame didn't put something out, or somebody didn't put something out. Somebody has to have all those dugout roster sheets.
Right. Well, the nice thing about Pocket Pennant Run, I'll bring it back up here, and we'll exit out of this. I think you've seen this, but I'll show it to you anyhow. Hang on. So it's there we go. There we go. So we'll do like a box score replay thing. So pick a year, Tim. Pick a year.
Actually, hold on. Let me pull up Gaylord's next start here.
Okay.
If I can.
Bernie, how are you doing, buddy? I know you can't be on. I mean, I'd love to have you on, but I know it's a bit late. But you and I, we definitely got to get together, man. I've been super, super, super busy. D. Scott Howard calls them the Cadavaliers. Oh my God.
They were called the Cadavers back then.
Cadavers. Yeah, because Bernie, we not only got to think about I know we're like a month off now on the podcast, but I saw a rather your announcement on your Facebook group, buddy. So just wow. That kind of took me by surprise. So
pull up May 23rd, 1972.
May 23rd, 1972. Okay.
Yes.
So we'll do that. All right. So 5/23/1972. Show available games. Okay. And it's digging them up. And here we are.
And then pull up Indians, Yankees.
Okay. Oh my God! There we are. So that was a 3-0 game historically.
Yep, that's correct.
Okay, so let's do this. Diamond Mine's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm doing this." So there are the lineups as played, and then when you go into the game,
wait a minute. I can't see the. Oh, there we go. Hold on. You're kind of a little bit of the. Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, Retro Sheet kind of does this, but it doesn't give the benches.
Oh, this does. And it will show you who actually played in the game. So we go into here, which is really cool. So we go to Cleveland and we go to their bench. So Lowenstein actually got in the game historically.
Yes.
So anybody above this dotted line, right? Yes. That's who they actually played in the game. But there's the rest of the bench and all that. So
okay.
Yeah. So it's nice. Excellent. And we look at the Yankees. And we see that they go, and they went to Lindy McDaniel. So he came in relief. So if you wanted to play the game and actually use who pinch hit in the game or who was a reliever, you have that information right here in game. So you don't have to.
Well, the nice thing is with like Retro Sheet, they give all like the pinch hitters and all that, just who wasn't used.
Right. Well, and again, this does too. So so nobody else here got in. So I think that's really kind of cool. And I'm surprised that other baseball games haven't done that, what this is doing. So smart move there.
So much time, especially in September, which really bogs down any replay.
Oh, yeah.
Is when you got to, and then they got to cut the cards in case, I don't want to say, and by the way, here's, this guy who I want to use, but, didn't make a card for him. I got my screenshot, and you don't just see like a not person's name there against the pitcher. Like,
so I know you're a big Strat fan, and I think Strat's a great game. But what's their philosophy behind, like, if you buy a season, why don't they just card everybody? Like, I don't get like why you have to pay extra for the outliers. Just there asking you.
A tester. They have a guinea pig right now. It's called Strat Hockey. For 23-24, if you bought the season with the extra players, they sent you a download for a PDF to get all the uncarded players. I think part of that was because if you were replaying a Vancouver Canucks replay, one of their goaltenders didn't play during the regular season and they wanted a card in for some reason. I think that might be their tester to say, maybe this works. And if they do that, then, then
baseball gets
then maybe baseball gets it next for 23-24. And then maybe if that works out really well, maybe they'll backdate it where if you show proof of purchase, maybe you can get that PDF for free. That's what I'm hoping for one of the only hockey game that I have.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I think that would be great. I mean, because, I mean, the one thing, and again, I'm not going to get into the APA Strat thing. I mean, I think they're both great games. I played more APA. I'm really, I like APA a lot. But I mean, APA gives you everybody, right? You buy a season, you got everybody. And I'm like, I never understood because when I used to be a Strat player, played some Strat in college as an undergraduate. And I'm like, but wait a minute. I realized this guy only had like 3 at bats or whatever, but he's not. Where is he? I bought this season. Where is he?
I think they only thought that people for Strat, they were only going to say, well, we're only using this to play head to head with our friends, and we want the 26 best players.
Yeah, right.
At the time.
Yeah.
And we'll just go with that. They didn't think people were actually want to replay whole seasons or any of that stuff.
Right.
And then you get these new companies come along and go, holy crap, they do want to play the whole seasons.
Yeah.
Let's give them everybody.
Right. Yeah. That could be. It's, those two companies. I mean, as you probably know, Baseball for Windows 6.0 is out now. I haven't bought it yet because it seems to be more just for playing 21st century baseball. But somebody said to me in one of the comments that I guess there's some new manager options and stuff. But I'm not sure that it's worth it for me to kick up $30 for, considering that the games that I play, I don't play any 21st century baseball, right? And if I wanted to, I can do it in out of the park baseball. I could do it in pocket pennant run, action PC, all these other games. So I'm like, I love Baseball for Windows. I think it's great, but do I want to hear Ernie not say names as they come up, right? Because as you get further and further away from 1997, for obvious reason, I mean, Ernie's never going to say Shohei Ohtani. He's never going to say it.
Right.
So it's like, and O is working on a no-hitter right now.
Right. Well, just the way that he bungled some of the 95 Indians was like.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to do? He's Tiger announcer. What are you going to do?
No,
I don't know.
Called all those games.
No, I know.
Like you couldn't take AI and just take from when he called, and splice it in.
I mean, so the technology's there, but I don't see APA doing that. I think the game that's going to do it, once there's this really good, affordable, workable AI they can do, I really think it's going to be out of the park baseball that's going to do it. Marcus Heinsohn has said that, once we can find something that's going to work, that's not going to be astronomical or whatever, that we want to jump on that. So, I mean, for all the mispronunciations and the glitches, I think that Baseball for Windows is still an amazing game. It's a hell of a game. It's got a good engine under it, obviously, the APA Master game. And there is that immersion quality that's amazing, right? Because I've been playing this game, Tim, since 1995. Like every once in a while I'd stop and sleep. Now I've been playing since 1995, and I still hear Ernie Harwell say things in games I've never heard before, and yet play 2 or 3 games of MLB The Show, and you've heard everything, right? Mm-hmm. It's that they're gonna cut to the mascot, and they're gonna say, and he got his first hit, and wow, that makes a player. And I'm like, come on, guys, you got Ernie Harwell who did this by himself back in the day, and he's saying shit 20, 30 some years later or whatever it is, 20, so come on, get with the program. I think it's going to be out of the park baseball that's going to actually have an Ernie Harwell's hype announcer. I mean, would it be nice if they would get like a John Miller to do it? Like that would be amazing. But could you imagine what that would cost now?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think
20,000 players.
Yeah. Well, even if you, hey, Philip, I am on late. This is just a rare little thing. I just missed having a Saturday night. This is Saturday night. Yeah, baseball Chinwag. So yeah, how you doing, Philip? So, but even if they had because their original plans, Tim, they were going to get Pete Van Wieren to pick up where Ernie Harwell left off. So they weren't going to have him do, because Harwell says every name that's played baseball from the National Association up to 1997, first and last names and nicknames. That's incredible. And then, of course, all the other things, right? And instead, they decided to, I guess, update the game engine or something. And so I don't think APA. They don't strike me as a company that's going to jump on to something like AI, but I think it'd be great. I think it'd be great to do it. I don't think Dave Cook has the. I don't think his fan base really cares about that. And as far as Action PC Baseball goes, I don't really care if there's not an announcer in that. I think Out of the Park Baseball is the one that's got it. But they've got to be able to, trying to. If you look at the play-by-play in that, and I only look at it really if I'm watching a game and I'm not sure what happens, I'll glance up to it, or if I'm calling a game or whatever. But you have to. They still don't have the on-field action and the play-by-play, and I'm like. So right with Baseball for Windows, there's no animation, so they never had to worry about that. But right, if you have an AI, or say you get John Miller, maybe you get a good minor league broadcaster, or Aaron Reed, right, or man of a thousand voices, right? How are they going to sync that up? Because it's deeper than MLB The Show, and these guys are the MLB The Show announcers. They give you enough for the immersion thing, but I mean Harwell, like. When I've done full season replays in Baseball for Windows, and he tracks what's going on. Sass, he'll talk about games. He'll talk about this person has this hitting streak and that hitting streak, and what have you. And how out of the park baseball is going to be able to make that, when it happens, to make that announcer work with the on field action. That's going to be way more of a challenge than even APA faced back. 90? I forget when Baseball for Windows 3.0, I think, was the first edition with Harwell. So you're talking mid 90s, and no other baseball game does what it does. Meh, I don't. So Philip said he says he's not good. He's been in the hospital. So you have my prayers, my friend. Wow. He says he's been in the hospital all week, but doing better. That's good. He says that he'd love to see a computer version of History Maker Baseball. Yeah, I think it's that game almost begs to be on the computer. What do you guys think? Well, Dwayne, you still wait?
Just to even have the auto dice roll with the automatic lookups would be very time saving. Although it will put your own dice rolls in, like at least so that you feel like you're interacting part of it, because it's like I'm sure just digging through all those. And then now let's move to this chart.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it looks like such a fun game, but that's the thing. It's just like I've got to look up too many things, and it's like I want to just be able to play baseball. And I, as the guy, a semi whatever, or is he this? Is he that? What's his decide or die say? And it's like, okay, I just want to, and I do play some cards and dice baseball, not online, obviously, but I want to roll the dice, get the play result, and move on. I just. But I mean, that's not a knock on History Maker. I love watching people play it. I think it's a brilliant system. Who would ever thought about, like,
do you own it?
Do I? No, I don't, because I'm not going to. Yeah, I'm not going to play it because there's just too much shit to look up. I'm not going to do it. But I love watching other people play it.
2 reasons.
Yeah.
It doesn't have every player.
Right. Apparently you can make your own, but it's kind of hard.
I won't. If it's anything like Red, White, and Blue, he gives you a way to make, but he doesn't give you the real formula. There's still a lot of use your judgment on it. If it's like Red, White, and Blue, there's nothing that says that if it's like Red, White, and Blue, it's not going to say if this guy batted 255, he gets this, and this. It'll give you a range, and you can give him this characteristic order. You can do this. That's how Red, White, and Blue is. It's a lot of judgment.
A lot of judgment.
Yeah.
Well, I think Philip touches on that here too, because he says right here that the cards will be the tough part. I'm talking about a PC conversion, but even creating your own player. So you're a big Red, White, and Blue fan or player, man. I mean, like you're people love you for that. Yeah.
It depends if I'm playing that or APA. It's my favorite game. If I'm playing APA, APA's my favorite game. If I'm playing Red, White, and Blue, it's my favorite game.
So Philip says he's making his own cards for his next project, 2022 in Season Express. That's cool. I've heard it. I mean, it's a pretty time-consuming process, I guess. But hey, there's worse ways to spend your time. That's for sure. So good. More power to you. So Dwayne, do you find those judgment? I mean, like, have you ever had have you carded drivers? Does it
I didn't card them. A guy named Donald Weed carded the drivers. I've done the tracks.
Okay.
I haven't done the drivers. And what I found out is Donald Weed, when he does it, using that and his own little spin on it, the drivers don't get as many characteristics as what Keith gives them.
Okay.
Because he just did the 2002 season, Keith did, and Weed has done that years ago. And what he does is once Keith comes up with it, he'll take it off of Board Game Geek, so you can't print it anymore. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
Of course, I already got it. But,
yeah.
And that's the other knock I got on Red, White, and Blue. With his seasons, he doesn't card every driver. Now, back in 1969, when you had 160 some drivers, I can see that. But nowadays, you're lucky if there's 70 drivers. So, and he's normally doing between 50 and 60. So you're talking about 20 more, which is about one sheet. He puts like 32 drivers on a sheet. I don't understand why he doesn't do every driver, even if it's just one race. And he's done drivers for one race. He did Gordon for the 1992 set, and he just raced in the last race in Atlanta.
Jeff Gordon? Okay,
yeah.
Philip says he created the character traits. John Wise created the actual cards. Okay. No. It looks like a fun game, and I love watching other people play it. So when I'm saying I'm not knocking the game, I just don't have the patience for a game where I'm looking up. But then again, unlike most people, I started baseball simming digitally, not cards and dice.
You think it's more looking up than it is for APA?
At least from what watching other guys play, like I've seen like our Red Sox fan play it a lot, and it's like this looks really fun. But then I'm watching, I'm like, I just don't have that patience to. Like, is he a sad sack? Decide or Die says this and what have you. But I will say this. There was a football game, and you guys, I'm not a football fan, but I was watching Dave Gardner a few weeks ago. So, Dave, hi, how you doing, man? It's not a knock on Dave. But he was playing this football game. And so, football.
Fury football, I think it was.
Dude, he's like going through all these big pages and pages and pages to get a play result.
Wait a minute. No, that was probably second season.
I'm like, oh my God! I'm thinking if I was a football fan, I wouldn't play this game.
Well, right? I was also playing that momentum football. Was that it?
It was something that he had to look up. It was like a pass play or something on a third down or whatever, and he had to like page through the spiral bound thing to look up. And it was like dense. It was like dense print, dense charts inside this thing. And I'm like, whoa! There's more looking up in this than any baseball game I've seen. Right. And that's not because of football. I think it's maybe, and it might be a good game. I'm no judge of a football game, but I know that's a game I wouldn't. If I'm going to do all that looking up, I'll play Dungeons and Dragons, and be a DM or something. I don't know, but I don't remember the name of it. But he was showing it. Philip says, history maker. He says, found the 3 traits is plenty. Any more is excess. So there are some players carded in History Maker Baseball have like more than 3 traits, right?
Oh, I'm sure there is.
So that would be a lot of work. I don't know. Maybe I would probably look differently on it if I had started playing cards. So Tim, did you start cards and dice or digital when you got into baseball simming?
Cards and dice.
So you're cards and dice too. Okay. And you were also, Dwayne, right? First,
yeah,
cards and dice.
APA 1984.
Okay. No wonder I'm so weird then. I started with digital baseball. I didn't discover cards and dice baseball literally till I got to college. I had no idea. Like I would see like advertisements, like sporting news and stuff like, oh yeah, baseball, cool. You roll dice.
How I got in the APA was the sporting news.
Yeah,
page ad.
Wow.
Yes, yeah, I Sports Illustrated didn't have it, and I really didn't do sporting news, so I always thought those were mom and dad weren't going to get that for me anyway.
Yeah. I probably would have had.
I actually saved money up myself, Tim, and bought an Appa. Mom and Dad had to go give me a money order.
Well, that or by the time I would have wanted it, I wonder when the Stratomatic website would have started, because I'd have loved they had that 95 set. Wow, boy. Oh.
I admire the patience you guys have. I mean, because I like cards and dice games, but I think one of the reasons, and Dwayne knows this, I'm a huge Status Pro fan, was the game flows. It just flows really nice. And I like the flow of Pocket Pennant Run. And Appa, I always found a little bit, I flowed, and no knock again. I always felt more comfortable playing Appa than Strat. I played some Strat in college, but it seemed to me, and I don't know why, that Appa Master was easier for me than playing Strat like Super Advanced. Like Strat Super Advanced, like still makes my head hurt, Tim. It makes my head hurt.
and trust me, there's times where I've skipped Havoc rolls and I'm like, do I really need to do these? And it's like, okay, yeah. You can make a thing for like, okay, if you're up by so many, don't do them. But, I guess you kind of have to. I mean, I don't do blocking the plate or home run robbing, Yeah, don't do any of that. Or, because that's just too much.
It's a lot of work. I mean, it's, again, had a lot of fun with it. And I mean, started just by playing, and so we decided, okay, we're going to start playing Strat Super Advanced because we're hardcore badass baseball fans and we got this. And oh my God, I'd rather sit through calculus while having a root canal. I mean,
adding up the dice for the X chances in advanced are so much easier. Once you kind of play, granted, you've played many games as I have. I think I've over 1,000 games under my belt.
I believe you,
but
you make it flow nicely. I watch your videos, man, and I mean, it's joy watching you play Strat. Another guy that does it really well is Mike, Sports Time Machine. I love watching you guys play Strat because I'm like, you guys can handle this game, and I've seen you do it, and you're like, yeah, boom, 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 and I'm like, Tim, you're my hero. Guys, just really quickly, Philip Reynolds is another channel you got to subscribe to, and he says, can't wait to show the set. He says, because they have player photos on most of them. That's pretty sexy. He said, so Philip started with cards and dice also. Yeah. Okay. So I'm
also very, very, very new. I think I'm 2015 or 2016.
In the hobby?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you are. You're a rookie, dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, plus also I wonder how much time I would have, had, or how much patience I'd have had, if I was younger playing this. But I guess decided to get it at the right time. I mean, I watched enough of Demos' videos, plus enough of the one guy in my trivia team who had played it since he's been in college, and he's in his 50s now. So
okay. Bernie here says PC Replay Baseball is as comprehensive as the Appa Master game with the ease of Appa Basic.
Yeah. You want to talk about mathing, that's Replay Baseball. That's a lot of math.
Is it?
I tried Demos is flawless with that.
Is he?
God bless him for doing it, but holy cow, that's way too much.
Yeah. What do you think of Inside Pitch?
I think the mechanics are fantastic. The fact that you have a pitcher and then batter is fantastic. I like the fact that strikeouts are not automatic. Like if you're a guy that doesn't want automatic results, it's a great game.
Okay.
But like as Dave Gardner once put in his I think he did it for his the video like around Christmas or Thanksgiving. All depends on how much you want on your plate. Do you want a full meal or do you want just appetizers?
Yeah.
It's fun. It's like, okay, so yeah, he strikes somebody out. But does the D20 roll, say that, okay, he should strike out. Okay, great. And then not all home runs are automatic. Like, I guess some of them are, because I have seen some in his 69 series. But, hey, look, you want, and then they have their own ballpark effects. So, like, look, you've got an at the park thing,
Right.
And a lot of it is like, it's not an automatic 2-base advance for a single. So it's if it's your type of thing, great. If it's not, then hey, I enjoy RJL doing it. I enjoy demos.
I love watching Robert do it, and he told me that it was baseball demos that got him into inside pitch.
Yeah.
And so then, Philip's saying that running is impossible in inside pitch to figure out.
Yeah, that's the one, and he's got his little chart that makes it kind of doable.
Yeah, is that little thing that Robert has off to the side? Is that what it is?
Yes, it's a
okay.
It's a arm. It's arm. I think it's arm and speed. I'm not sure.
Okay,
but like it's arm plus whatever. Well,
you got a modifier for whatever position it's hit to and what type of hit it was. There's an automatic modifier, and then you either add or subtract the outfielder's arm to then subtract off of the base runner's run rating. It's not that complicated, but it's not as simple as knowing that if a ball's hit the left field, it's a -2. It's not always a -2. A single might be a -2. A double might be a -1. So yeah.
Yeah. That's why he has that little helper there.
Yeah.
Then it'd be a lot harder.
Yeah.
I often wondered what that was.
That's not hard. It's just trying to remember what the modifier is, and if you can't remember it, that's a lot of looking up.
So I'll broach a subject I have before, just because we have some more people watching. We got Phil up here pretty active in the chat, and Bernie and stuff. And I'm gonna ask you guys too. So not that we're gonna settle it, but is there validity? What this whole argument between open engine, closed engine? What are your thoughts, guys? I mean, the game on your screen right now is a closed engine, right? It's there. The other game I was showing is an open engine. So what do you guys? I just want to get your. Hey, Sean, how you doing, man? How you doing?
Hey.
He says. So Sean says it's pretty complex. Dwayne talking about the running game for inside pitch. Hope you're doing well, Sean. So what do you guys think about this closed engine, open engine thing? Is there, I mean,
if it's a PC game, you don't want to exactly have to put everything in. It's a computer run through how many simulations before it was ever made. So,
right.
I just got to deal with it.
I mean, like, because some people have a preference for it, right? Because
I'd rather.
I don't like Diamond Mind, or I don't like Out of the Park Baseball or Action PC because they're closed engines. So, I know when I roll the dice, I can look at a chart, or as I was showing, pocket pennant run. I roll those 3 dice, get that play result. So my contention has always been that a real major league manager is playing in a closed engine.
Yeah,
is right. So in one way, digital baseball kind of. Oh God, I don't want to say this. I'm not saying it's to piss anybody off. This is just my own idiocy. It seems to me that digital baseball is going to give you a little bit more, because you can. Okay, so the Action PC, you guys know about the pitcher batter matchup thing, which is I think really cool. But that that's only giving you, okay, this guy has he has a 14% chance of striking out this particular batter or whatever, which still doesn't open the engine. But I mean, the only reason I bring it up is because people debated it, So
you're saying a manager has a closed engine, but he's there at the park. He sees where the ball's being hit at. The base coach knows where the ball's hit and where the runner is at the time the outfielder picks the ball up. So when you got a complete closed engine where it says, do you want to advance the runner from second to third on the single, and it gives you nothing, no percentage, no nothing. Well, that third base coach does it kind of get a percentage. He knows the ball's 5 feet from the wall. It's Dave Parker, and you haven't even touched second base yet. You're not coming to fucking third.
You're not running to third. Exactly.
And
if it's Clemente, you're probably going to hold to a single. But I get it. I get it.
Complete closed engine. I don't know if Dave Parker fell out there and he's laying on the ground in agony.
Right. But you
don't easily made it.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. I get that. So there is
I kind of like having an open engine, at least partially open.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just think it's it's become like, that kind of debate where I've seen people get kind of heated about it. Like, well,
that's the one thing I don't like. I don't do it. I don't manage an out of the park.
Right, Philip.
I might, but once I get to an era where I'm more comfortable with the players, but that's one thing I don't like about out of the park is you got sliding Billy Hamilton on first, and I don't know what the percentage is of him stealing. Now, I'll say this about the game. And you can tell him to steal, and it don't always send him automatically, so he doesn't get thrown out. I do like that part, but at the same time, I wouldn't even click the button if I knew that he's only got a 2-foot lead because he's scared to death he's getting picked off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Now here's the thing about a and again, closed engines are obviously by necessity. I mean, those are the PC games. Right. There's one thing that I could never imagine. I don't even think you could do this in Cards and Dice. So if I wanted to right now, with one little change in this Out of the Park Baseball Action PC, I could play an entire game like actual baseball pitch by pitch. So it brings me to my next question, and this is something because I love talking to you guys about these things. So, are we accurately playing baseball if we're not playing pitch by pitch? Think about that, right? So you have like a hitter's coming up, and we'll use a more modern. We say Ricky Henderson is on there, right? So we know that Ricky's going to steal anytime Ricky can steal, but just for sake of argument, we know that there are better counts to run on than others.
Correct.
And so when you're playing batter by batter, which you have to do in Cards and Dice, and which, let's face it, we mostly all do in PC games. I've done a few pitch by pitch games on here, and it's like, holy shit, it's hard work because you're like, but are we accurately playing baseball by doing it by batter? Because
you're counting on the engine,
right? But I mean, how are you? In other words, if you're managing, Dwayne, I guess what I'm saying is, are you being robbed of a manager's decision when you have the ability to okay, the counts 3-0 in the batter, pitcher struggling, right? So you can say, let's take base running out of it and say, okay, on a 3-0 pitch, I can tell my hitter, the manager's going to tell my hitter take on a 3 let him take on a 3-0 and try to draw the walk.
Yep.
But if we're playing batter by batter, do I want to do that? Because that count might be 2-0 at that point. But if I say take pitch, all of a sudden, right, it jumps to, it can be now that could be a 2-2.
Well, most game engines,
right?
Most game engines, if you're playing batter by batter and you can still hit the take button, it's somewhat switches the pitch by pitch. You're only taking that first pitch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know action PCs like that. You can take when you're playing batter by bat, at bat by bat,
right?
But it's the first pitch, and it'll be either a 1-0 or 0-1 count. It's not doing the whole at bat, so you didn't know what count you was making him take on.
So that still begs the question, though. Then are we now? And this is now strictly PC baseball. If I like with this game right now, I'm playing this batter by batter. I could switch this each pitch. So, Earl Moore pitching to Wood Conroy, right? So, and I got Jimmy Williams out there on second, right? New York has Jimmy Williams out there, the Highlanders, right? Well, do I want Highland? Depending upon the count, I might want to send Jimmy Williams. I might want to try to steal third. This is a dead ball game, so I might want to try to steal third.
I used to do Beetle is I'd switch the pitch by pitch in the playoffs because I want to get the regular season done in a reasonable time.
Exactly. That's the thing. If you try to do a pitch by pitch replay, you're going to be collecting Social Security and still not have a season done, I think. See, Philip says, how many dice would you need to play pitch by pitch? My God, could you imagine? Oh my, I couldn't even, to be honest with you, Philip, I don't even know how you could implement pitch by pitch in a Cards and Dice situation. You almost need a computer to do it.
You'd have to have 100 or some dice. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a 200 dice that you couldn't see the goddamn numbers on, so you could get a ball, a strike, a foul tip. All that would have to be on the player's card also. The cards would be freaking so, either the print would be so small, the cards would be so big, the footprint couldn't handle it.
Yeah. Sean says here, he says, with Action PC Baseball, he said he played pitch by pitch one season. He says they need to fix the walk situation. Got too many walks, he says. It was too easy to draw walks when you're up to the plate. I never tried a whole season with, and again, time, tempus fugit. I don't think I ever will. I just like to do some one-off games if I'm really feeling like managing a game. It's like, okay, I'm going to play this pitch by pitch. I tried doing it online a few times. And it's like, oh my God, this is crazy. I even had the idea one time, and I think, D. Scott would remember. I said, this is it. From now on, Beatles Eternally, I'm going to do every game pitch by pitch. Dude, that lasted like 2 days. I'm like, fuck this. That ain't happening, man. Oh my God. People have to put up with me enough just doing all the goofy shit I do on here. I don't want to put them through pitch by pitch stuff. I like to assume that my audience are, they're not masochists. So
yeah, Legend does a great job with MLB The Show doing pitch by pitch.
He does. But I think that game, and not to take anything away from Legends, I totally agree with you. I think that game lends itself nicely to being able to do pitch by pitch, because you've got all kinds of things going on. The screen's not static. You've got the little pause, and the batters maybe hitting the dirt off his spikes or something, or the pitcher with the rosin back. I think it does. He draws you in, and let's face it, dude. He and Chris Slovic, best broadcasting voices for baseball on here. I really think so.
It would be sort of like having like a separate chart. All right, here is your no ball, no strike count chart. Here's your 1 ball, no strike count.
Oh my God! But Tim, the looking up you would do?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it'd be, but it would be part of like an Apple booklet sort of type thing.
Yeah. I don't really see a Cards and I mean, come on, we've been playing. I mean, so Apple's been around since 1951. Strat's been around since 61, and then we have all these other games. And nobody's never seen like a necessity to implement pitch by pitch in Cards and Dice.
But remember, the average, I would say, time span that you might get from somebody is maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half.
Right.
So anything longer than that, like, I'll admit I got one game film that I need to upload. It's about an hour. Like usually my little more than an hour games are like, oh boy, I've kind of been at this a while. I wonder who's actually going to stick around.
Right.
Usually if it lasts that long, it's either a blowout or it's extra innings.
Mm-hmm. Now, blowouts are the worst.
Like when I saw Demos did a 45-minute game, I was like, all right, this has got to be low scoring, or it's it's got to be low scoring.
Mm-hmm.
Because as quick as I want to go, it's
yeah,
there has to be some explanation to it, because some people listen and don't, fine. That's the way you want to listen to me. Great. Get my videos is just to listen and have me in the background. I'll take it.
Yeah. Well, from doing this stuff, man, blowouts are the worst, because I hate. Oh my God, I dread blowouts when I'm doing like a live stream. It's like, oh shit, here we go.
I'll bring out all the shitty references and the, what was the? Let me see if I can pull the one that I pulled off today. Hold on.
While you're looking here, Sean says my attention span is down to 30 minutes or less for videos, so there isn't much I can watch anymore in regards to baseball sim channels. Oh, I know in blowouts, Sean. That's what happens to me.
72 Tigers,
mm-hmm.
And he did something really bad, and I did Fred Sherman's looking for his Peabody to go back in time when he had talent.
I love it. That's funny. They're awful. I did a game here one night. Oh my God, it was 2019, I think it was, and I was playing a Pirates-Dodgers game, and the Pirates were winning. It was like 15-2, and it was like the 6th inning. Dude, it was baseball hell. I'm like, seriously?
That's when you bust out your how many years of baseball knowledge, and you tell stories that you haven't told in a while, or or you find something out about that guy that's interesting that'll hold an audience for how long,
Well, there's that, but then there's the other thing. It's like, wait a minute, who's more insane? The people watching the game or the idiot right here sitting in my room calling a game? It's 15-2 in the 6th inning. And to rub salt into an open wound, it was 1902. So, that's of limited, right? Yeah.
World's Worst Gamer says his attention spans down to 30 minutes or less.
30 minutes.
For videos. Okay.
Yeah.
And Phillips says he can get a History Maker Baseball Express game done in 10 minutes, 20 to 30 if live. Yeah, that's the other thing. If you're live, you don't want to kind of rush through it. You got to say hi to everybody, and
Oh yeah, you got to talk. But like Baseball Replay Journal, which I'd love to get that guy on a podcast with Bernie and me. But he used to do Diamond Mine Baseball, and he'd knock these out in like 14 minutes. Like, dude, talk to your people. Whatever. I mean, he knows his baseball. I think he has some connection to.
He did pitch by pitch too.
He did pitch. I know he did pitch by pitch, and he can do a game in 14 minutes. Yep. How the hell? I watched one time, man. I smoked a cigarette, and it's the 7th inning already. I'm like, what? What the hell is going on here? Yeah. I mean, good on him. But I could. Jesus. Now you got to talk. You got to talk to people. Well, my problem is I don't pay attention to the game, guys. We've been in the bottom of the 2nd here for like an hour now, at least. But I don't care. The game's secondary to me. I like hanging out with you guys and talking. Yeah. But Philip back here, he says one game pitch by pitch would take 5,100 episodes if each episode was an hour. Oh my God, Philip, you're killing me over here, but you're right. So yeah, the pitch by pitch thing. But that is one thing I do like to do offline. It's a lot of fun to just, okay, here we go. It's a 2-0 count. I'm going to send this guy. Boom. Yeah, whatever. But I don't know. Because baseball, I mean, because like other games, like, well, let's just, I guess best compare, because football to me, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, because you guys know I'm a football illiterate, but it seems to me that okay, there's certain plays you're going to run on like first down, and it's going to depend where you are in the field, whether you're, inside the defender's territory, what you're going to do. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to draw some sort of analogy between the two games, that there is sort of situation dependent things going on, as opposed to basketball and hockey where it's just like fucking chaos.
Well,
right?
One thing I guess that's missing sort of from, maybe it's missing from, you'll see it eventually, essentially. There is no bunting for base hits. Unless you hit a 2-0, but you can't sacrifice with nobody on. But I guess that's sort of melded into his base hit chances.
Yeah, I know Appa. That's the infield hit. If it's Brett Butler, you assume he bunt it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it'd be, 2-0 count. Oh, the first and third with one. Oh, that's a great time to do a squeeze play.
Yeah.
But.
Well, I know in Action PC you can bunt for hit.
Yeah.
But I don't know about out of the park. I can't remember. Dwayne, it's been a while since I played out of the park baseball. Can you? Can you bunt for a hit in out of the park? Do you remember?
What's that?
So I've seen like in Action PC, you can select to like bunt for a hit. I forget. Can you do that in out of the park baseball? I can't remember.
I've only managed like 2 or 3 games my whole life with out of the park, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
Let's bring it up and look.
Yeah, we could be the third one up here. Well, before we do that, so trivia, dead center field here in Highland Park was 542 feet. So I don't know. I just thought I'd put that right up against Coogan's Bluff, by the way. So I don't know. I just thought I would throw that. So do you want to share your screen, Dwayne?
Let me bring it up here.
So why not? We have Pocket Pennant Run and Diamond Mine. Might as well bring up out of the park baseball.
Let me bring up the 78 season.
Phillips says, if that's the case, I have 672 episodes. It equals about 7 games I've done. Unfortunately, not all of those are baseball. Yeah, how about it, Sean? 542 feet. Yeah, that's a crazy, crazy ballpark. And
with a 20-foot high fence.
And a 20-foot fence. Yeah, 20-foot fence in dead center. No one's going to hit that damn. Maybe Mickey Mantle is going to hit it out there. Maybe. But that's about it.
By the way, I guess somebody had actually went through and read the rule book. The minimum that a down the line fence can be now is 325
minimum. So that would, because Baker Bowl was 299, I think, down the right field line.
Yeah, it depends on when the stadium was built. Is dependent on how, like, that's how the pesky pole can be so short.
Right.
Technically, that's like 298.
Yeah.
Now it's only like 310 down the lines. I think now at minimum they have to be 320 down the lines.
Yeah. Well, again, those old ballparks had to be built within the confines of the city. So it was a happy thing because they were quirky, neat ballparks, which is why parks like, and I still call it the Jake. So parks like the Jake and PNC and whatever. So these modern retro parks can do those weird things, but they had to do it by necessity, because there's no parking. Right. Back then, nobody had damn cars anyhow, but you were right in there. And look at Ebbets Field was literally a city block, and they could do nothing else with Ebbets Field after a certain time. So, so you had these weird things. So they probably had all this room, but you looked at even down, but this was damn big ballpark. You go down the left field line is 355 feet. The right field line's 400 feet. That's center field in a lot of ballparks these days. Yep. This was a pasture for sure, where the Highlanders played. I bet you, probably in the open Yankee Stadium. It's like, but yet, right, because Yankee Stadium but this is bigger than Yankee Stadium. This playing field. At
least they don't have in-play monuments or a center field hill.
Oh my God! Right. Well, Ebbets Field, the flag used to be in play in center field. They had an American flag right in play in center field. Can you imagine?
You can do it.
So why no 600 feet? Ruth, maybe Ruth could hit one, and Mantle. I can't think of too many other guys that could have.
So Philip, that'd be like saying, "Let's hit a ball over 2 football fields."
All right, Dwayne Martz, he's giving us some. All right, Sharon. There we go. There we go.
Bunt for a hit.
Okay. So so you can bunt for a hit, and there we go. And do we have a bunt for a hit? Well, we tried. You're out of there. I haven't. I've not played this game very much this year. Kind of makes me sad. All right, you gonna have everybody bunt for a hit till somebody gets on, or what?
Well, Ozzie Smith and them, I will. This is an exhibition game.
Okay.
78 Padres against the 78.
Tim, didn't you tell me you don't play this game? Is that correct?
Okay. The only thing I play is Strat with cards and dice.
Okay, gotcha.
And by the way, I was trying to look up maybe I'll have to ask you where the link is to buy to at least take a look at the Pocket Pennant Run, because all I'm seeing is the card and dice. I can't see where the PC.
Okay. Well, here's why. Yeah, here's why. Because when you buy the cards and dice, whether the PDF version or if you want to buy the physical, you automatically get access right to the PC software.
Okay.
That's why. So the software is actually free. It's the game you pay for, and you can just buy it $15 for the print and play PDF, or $24 if you want to get the physical game, which literally fits in the palm of your hand, and you automatically get the Pocket Pennant Run software.
I could think of many years that I could get for Pocket Pennant Run just as a kind of okay.
Now, to be fair, Pocket Pennant Run still isn't at the point where, obviously, where APA, where Strat is, where Inside Pitch. It's still growing. So, it's not there. There are things like, and I've talked about. I think I love the game, but it's not a game. If for me, I play it a lot, but I don't play dead ball baseball on it because they put modern pitcher fatigue on these guys that could pitch for days and days. Because different game, right? You weren't throwing 98 miles an hour with each pitch back in the dead ball era. Micro League Baseball, bunted for hit. That was So that was one of the exploits in Micro League Baseball. For anybody that played that game, you could bunt for hits on that thing. And there was another one that you could always do in a 3-2 when you knew it was a 3-2 count. I forget what it was now.
This is my favorite thing about Out of the Park.
So I played, and this is probably more for Tim. I played the computer version of Strat. I liked it, but I've talked about why I don't play it anymore. It has nothing to do with the game and everything to do with Strat's customer service. Yeah. So
the fact that looks like you're playing in a DOS version.
so what happened was, you know, I'm living in Europe, and so I bought a new PC. I had Strat PC on my old one, and all I wanted to do is just transfer it to the new one. So, you know, and Strat has that, you know, the copy protection, whatever.
Yep.
So I called them, dude. I mean, overseas call, and believe it or not, they said this. They said, well, to make sure, you know, we need to you need to allow us to put TeamViewer, you know, which is one of those remote things, right? Because we have to make sure that you're not running this in two different computers, blah blah blah. And I'm like, are you? And guys, I put about $400 into the game. Literally, that's how much I bought for Strat PC. And I told the guy, I said, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. And the only everything I've ever done since then is I tried Strat Max. And I like Strat Max. It's not quite where there's features I'm looking for, but I mean, come on, dude, really? Like, you know, Diamond, they don't care if I run this on 20 computers, you know? Same thing with Baseball for Windows. And I couldn't believe it, but it wasn't even so much that. They actually wanted to be on my PC and do the transfer to the other PC. No, that's not happening. You know, so that's my story. But I liked it, Philip. I think the interface sucks though. That user interface is like 1987 or something.
Yeah,
it's so bad.
Like, have action where stuff's moving around, and like even as basic as Action PC is, it's still a ball is moving, fielders are moving,
right?
You know, you can see a ball moving. Like, you don't see that in anything with Strat.
Right. And with Appa, there's no animation, but you have what makes up for it is you've got, you know, it's even with its pops, glitches, and mispronunciations, you've got this sense of listening to a ball game on the radio. So, you know, they could get away with that. But what I hated about Strat was, like, you could, because I always like to make my own projects, but and you could, but it was a pain in the ass, man. I'm like, are you serious? You know, I've got to set this guy up and send that and that, because I bought one of the things I got was the career historical disc, right? Which is like everybody in baseball, it's their lifetime, right? Averages, whatever. And I thought, okay, this is kind of cool. Kind of like the baseball history collection in Action PC, I think is the best analog to that. But yeah, it was their customer service. And, you know, but do I think Strat's a great game? Absolutely. I really do. And that's why I like to watch Tim play it, and why I love playing. It wasn't my first game of choice in college, but played a lot of Strat. And then, like I said, I think what got me was getting onto Strat Super Advanced. I'm like, head blew up, and then discovered Status Pro Baseball. But I was playing, what was it? Vince Coleman was like an automatic steal or something. I don't know. That was weird.
Okay.
And Status Pro, not in Strat.
Pocket Pennant run here. I said license to download the manager software with free updates.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You might want to wait a little bit until maybe he does the updates. He has some, but I don't know when that's coming out. But I'll tell you what, man. You know, Tim, for $14.99, and considering what this software can do, because you know, it's not just playing games. It's lots of other things. You can create your own teams in this thing.
If only I would use it for who plays on a certain day. That would pay for it.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, and you've got that, and it's got. Well, you're looking at their webpage, so you can see what they've got: 199,000 as played games schedule. Whatever.
Right. Yeah. Now it's like 222 game schedules. Yeah. 996,000 as played. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you're set there. I mean, the thing is yeah, I think it's cool. I bought the physical game and extra stuff just because, you know, I wanted to do it. You know, have I touched that? No, the game is actually still in shrink wrap. But it is still in shrink wrap.
Probably be that for me. I'd probably just get the download and just be done with it.
Oh yeah, and with the download, I mean, it is kind of fun because you can Dwayne, man, what happened? Where's the game? Where'd the game? So let me see. That's Philip says that's why I haven't been on YouTube in a while.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry.
Because you've been in the hospital, or because
because of the hospital. Yeah, because I've been wondering, Philip, because I do get, it's like, oh, Philip hasn't done anything. Dwayne took away out of the park baseball from us. Dwayne. Why'd you do that to us, man? There. Now put Diamond Mine back on. I should say, how many baseball sims can I run at the same time?
A 1, a 2, a 3.
There we go. Yeah, bring up out of the park. Well, I can't bring up baseball for Windows, but if I bring up old time baseball, then that'd be fun. We could have like Ernie, total chaos, man. It'd be like jazz baseball. So right, we have Ernie Harwell calling one game while Mel Allen's doing another game. But I could set it up that they're both calling the same game.
And then you have how about that? Stood there like a house on the side of the road.
Yeah. If they would mesh up like that, Tim, that would be classic. That would be classic. Oh, he says no computer. Okay. Yikes. Okay. Well, hopefully you get back on, Philip. And glad to hear you're getting well, too.
The other thing was I didn't get this laptop until 2020.
Yeah,
like I had to do it because I couldn't go to the library because of the pandemic.
Yeah, right.
And the other part was that I was just doing everything on my phone, and that was, I had to film it, and then couldn't do anything else while that was uploading. And
yeah,
not that. Well, the other thing I should try now is to see if I plug it into my router. I call it that in quotes.
Right.
But I have to get the USB 3.
Oh,
plug it in there. So
too many damn USB things nowadays, man.
It's C and 3. Pretty much it.
Well, that's one too many for me, dude. I miss the old days when it was just damn USB cable, right? It's like,
yeah.
I got a synthesizer right to the right of me here, and it's like, I just put my USB cable and USB port and fire up the digital audio workstation, and I'm ready to jam, right? So I buy this other thing, and it's like, oh no, I need this USB for this and that, and I'm like, oh my god, why? It's a plug. Stop it.
Yeah, well, at least the USB allowed me to transfer it to the PC where I could upload it there.
Oh yeah,
thank God.
Yeah.
Like I thought you could do this previously. I was like, yeah.
Philip says here that he said he almost had a perfect game in history. I've never had a perfect game in any damn thing. He said he missed it by a dot. Oh my God. That'd be awful. Have you ever had a perfect game or anything like that, Tim?
8 2/3 no-hit innings within the McCormick replay.
Okay. I just got a 9 2/3. Ron Guidry, bottom of the 9th, 78. Blue Jays. Hal gets a fucking base hit.
Wow.
I have to take a look at. I don't have fucking the games.
Tim, did you ever hear the story about the YouTube broadcaster that pulled a pitcher who was pitching a no-hitter? Did you ever hear
Whitey Ford. Whitey Ford.
It's Whitey Ford.
Yep, 1961.
Yeah, he's owning up to it. He was owning up to it, Dwayne. That's right.
Yeah. At least I didn't do it this time. I seen that he was pitching a no-hitter, but blew it.
Sean says, I'd love to compare data with others, as I'm thinking based on the seasons I'm playing in action PC baseball, so has a problem with pitchers who allow more hits than innings pitched. He says, anyone see that with other PC games? Good question. That would take. That would be like almost. That would be a lot of It'd be a lot of testing to do that. I can't say that I have. Not saying that. I'm not saying you're not telling the truth. I'm not that. I've not. I never thought of making that comparison. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Oof. I think if I would do it, if I would do it on out of the park baseball. Action PC, actually, I haven't played that much this year. I wasn't. What's this? Yeah. Oh God, pulling pitchers with no hitters. Yep, our own Dwayne. He did it, man.
Yep.
You pulled Whitey
You won the game.
You won the game, but yeah, you had to know it. I've had one no hitter, and I've had one.
He actually gave up a run. He was losing 1-0.
So Harvey Haddix. This sounds like
Harvey. He walked a few, and they had an error in the inning. And like I say, he was walking a lot of batters that game, and it was the bottom of the 7th. I pitched hit for him, and it paid off, and they scored. And like I say, I didn't realize it until I was looking at the box score and going down and said, Whitey Ford pitched 7 innings of. I'm like, and Whitey Ford's in the clubhouse cussing me right now because I pulled him during the no hitter.
Unbelievable. Aaron here says he's witnessed a couple no hitters playing APA. Gary Nolan threw one in the 1975 World Series replay that he did. Cool. The only no hitter I've ever had playing digital baseball all these years happened on this channel, and it was January of 2023. Scott McGregor pitched a no-hitter 1983 Orioles, and people were here. It's the only damn no-hitter I've ever had, and I've been playing digital baseball since the 90s. It's the only no-hitter I've ever had. I'm pissed. And now, right, Aaron, he's new. He's new to baseball for Windows. He has a no-hitter. Robbie Wartburg, may his memory be eternal, gets baseball for Windows, gets 2 no-hitters in a week.
Who was playing?
What's that?
Scotty McGregor. Who was the Orioles playing when you had the no-hitter?
I have to look because I saved a screenshot somewhere. But I mean, Ken Castro was here, and it's super cool when a no-hitter happens in that game. Oh, yeah. It goes nuts. Yeah. But that's the only time. I mean, I've only had one hitter hit for the cycle, and that was Jimmy Fox. And again, just on the channel. Never had anybody hit for the cycle. That's it. I've had one cycle, one no-hitter. That's it.
I had 2 cycles in back-to-back games. Dan the Man Musial.
Holy shit.
For the cycle against the Milwaukee Braves in 61 the next game. Aaron says, whatever the Stan the Man can do, fucking Aaron can do better. He hit it for the cycle the very next game.
Damn.
Crazy. Yeah. And that 61 replay I did.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Tim, you were going to say something?
I didn't realize I did it until I was doing my recap videos. Like, wait a minute, he hit for the cycle. Oh my God.
I know, right? It's like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I've asked this, I don't think anybody's had one. I've never had, in fact, I've never seen, and I know it's happened a few times in baseball, and Tim, you probably know how many times, because you're just like that. How many hitters have hit a natural cycle? How rare is that?
I want to say it's in the teens, I think.
Yeah, that's super, super rare.
Yeah. In fact, I could probably look that up.
Yeah. I'd love to see that. I would love to see, like, I'm talking like whether it's real baseball or this or whatever, a natural cycle. Then I'd be like, okay, now I can die happy. I shouldn't say that because I'll probably get one now the next time I play it and I croak. Where's Beatles? Oh, he died. He had a natural cycle, man. So Philip says it was the second time he's almost perfect. The first time was Doug Drabeck with the 90 Pirates, who only hit was in the 5th inning in that game. Oh man, that sucks. And he says last one was Ralph Terry, went to the bottom of the 9th, missed by Doug. That sucks. That sucks. I would have been like, no, he got the perfect game. No, but you can't, because you know inside it didn't happen.
There have been 15 natural cycles.
Wow. So you were right. You said in the teens. That's incredible. So like that's it's practically zero. Mathematically, that's nothing. That's wow. And nobody here that I've talked to that I've asked, in fact, this is a couple chinwags, no one's ever said they've had a natural cycle.
No. I'll give you the weirdest name that is on this list.
Okay.
John Mabry.
He hit for natural cycle, really?
In 1996.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
There's
some really good names.
Billy is that Williams. The last time it happened, Tim?
No.
Cycle?
Junior Sarge.
Okay, that's the last one?
06. This is the last one.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Sean asks, have any of you had more? So this is Cards and Dice guys too. Have any of you had more than 3 strikeouts by a pitcher in an inning? I don't think I've seen it in any semi-plate. Yeah, no, it can happen in real baseball. I don't think I've ever had that happen.
The problem is Strat doesn't do drop third strikes.
Pocket pennant run does. Believe it or not. Oh my God. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it meant half inning, right, Sean? Exactly. Yeah, right. The drop third strike. Yeah, because you're right. I've never had that. I've never seen 3 strikeouts in a game. I haven't played enough pocket pennant run to see it happen. But I don't think I've ever had more than 3 strikeouts in a half inning. You guys?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm still here trying to find my McCormick game to see who got that hit for my almost no hitter.
Yeah, I'll have to find that McGregor one. It wasn't another 1983 team. It was one of those cross-era leagues or whatever, Dwayne. So it was, yeah, so Scott McGregor that threw the no-hitter for me. And there was like 17 people here that night, man. Everybody said it was a no-hitter. So it was awesome. It's like, oh my God, is this going to happen? Because you can't talk about a no-hitter while it's going on, right? And I'm like, oh, guys, I said, you look at the scoreboard. I can't even say what I was going to say. And then it happened, and it was like I could breathe. And so in the crowd in the baseball point, it goes wild, and the fireworks go on for like 5 minutes, and it's insane. It's pretty fun. But I haven't had one since. No-hitter. Now, like in the Greavy League, we had somebody who pitched a perfect game, but it wasn't one of the games that we showed. But Tim Keefe had a perfect game in McGreevy. So there you go. Yeah,
that's when you changed it so you could actually go back and watch it. Remember?
Yeah. I had him like, geez,
you couldn't even go back and watch it.
Yeah. So natural cycle, Philip, is when you hit the hits in order: single, double, triple, home run in that order. That's a natural cycle.
Huh.
So when the hits go in order, and wow, 15 batters in baseball have done it. Jeez, That's incredible. That is incredible.
Well, I could have sworn it was the McCormick replay that had that almost no hitter, but I could be wrong. I'm looking through all my. I literally have it right in front of me, and I can't seem to find it. But I'll probably find it tomorrow.
You'll find it on Thursday. Oh, this is it.
Yeah, okay.
It's the way it works, right?
And of course, I don't do like runs, hits, and errors. And it's like, golly. Because they may have scored a run, and I'm kind of looking at it, and I'm like, maybe that's why I'm not finding it. But that's all right.
I believe you, though. I believe you.
If not, just everybody that wants to watch the playlist of the McCormick replay, go watch it. It's marked as such on my page.
Yeah, there you go. So I've never had 4 home runs in a game. Of course, that's happened in baseball. Poor Lou Gehrig, he hits 4 home runs on the same day that John McGraw retires from baseball. Who gets the headlines? John McGraw. Mm-hmm. Poor Lou Gehrig, man. He gets out from the shadow of Babe Ruth, right? 1936. What a year he has. And he hit, what was it? This was before 1936. So it was 1932 that he had this 4 home run game. And right, so that would make headlines any other day, but John McGraw had to retire that day and stole Lou Gehrig's thunder, right? So 1936, he's out of the shadow of Babe Ruth, and who comes along? This kid named DiMaggio.
Okay, because I was looking. Go ahead, finish your story, Beatles. And
I was just talking about just Lou Gehrig, man. I mean, what a hero he is, because he had to deal with the shadow of Ruth, and then the shadow of for a few years of Joe DiMaggio. It's like, God, it sucked to be Lou Gehrig, didn't it?
Yeah.
Anyhow, I'm sorry, Tim. Go ahead, please.
It was against the Astros, not against the Phillies.
Okay.
And it was the toy cannon, Jimmy Wynn, who broke up the no-hitter.
Damn.
And then Rusty Staub followed with a hit.
It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah. I was like, down to the last one. I think he walked 3 batters that game. So I was like, man, I literally don't think I said anything until the last inning that, hey, he's throwing a no-hitter.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I find myself wanting that second no hitter so badly that when I do a game, it's like I'm really excited. It's like it's the third inning no hits. It really doesn't mean shit, right? But there's that inside me's hoping, okay, come on, this is going to be my second no hitter ever, and it just doesn't happen. Then somebody gets a hit, and then usually the bottom of the inning or whatever it is, the next half inning. So it's like, well, now it's just a regular old baseball game at that point. Aaron says he's only seen 2 inside the park home runs in action PC, Gary Redus and Deion Sanders. I just had an inside. Last time I did a McGraw League, I had an inside the park home run. So that was pretty exciting. That was in out of the park baseball. I've seen them more in out of the park baseball than I have in action PC. Phillips says in my 61 project, he said 8 shutouts. Bill Terry has 2, and Stafford has 3. It's tough.
What's the most number of runs scored by one team in any game you've played that you know?
Oh my god. I think I had a 20-run game.
I had a 19-run game with the Blue Jays and the 2016 Minnesota Twins.
Yikes! Who had the 19 runs?
Blue Jays.
The Blue Jays had the 19 runs. What year was that?
2016.
2016. Wow.
Yeah, that was the same year that I had the cycle that I didn't know about was also the 19-0 game.
Damn, you had all kinds of magic going on in that, didn't you?
Well, it also had one of my longest winning streak. They started that season on a house of fire and then, of course, fell back to earth. I was like, wow, okay. It's like it's a winning streak. And I'll say this for the community. Winning streak replays, while they may seem fun on paper, will never pan out when you do them cards and dice. Never. Yeah. So I think I did the 14-game one they had the Indians had in 16, and I think they went like 8-6.
Oh yeah, man.
It's just that it does not end for.
So you keep playing it even after.
I have the 98 Yankees, and I'll bet you I can't get. If I get to 100 wins, I'd be very happy.
Right. Yeah.
Longest extra inning game. I think I have a 15 or 16 inning game.
I think that's around where I've had 2. Yeah. I think it's been around that. I don't think I've ever had an 18 inning game.
Right.
But those things are hell though too.
Yeah.
Because because when those happen, is like a lot of times like, okay, guys, we're just gonna do, or like we're gonna do a double header. We're gonna do a double header tonight, and then it'll be like one of the games invariably is an extra inning game, and it's like, oh my god, are you serious? Yep. So Phillips says for him about 13 or 14 innings. When you get after that 9th inning, man, and you're like, so at least for me, I'm like, please, somebody just hit it, just walk it off, just get it. I want to be done now. I've watched the Reds and the Cubs now for 10 innings. That's enough. I want and it could be the Pirates and the Tigers. My 2 favorite teams. I don't care. It's like, okay, now I want it to be over. So, shit. I don't know.
It's Ghost Runner on second.
That's when the purist to me, Tim. Exactly. I'm like, screw it, man. Rob Manfred's my hero. Ghost Runner on second. Yeah, exactly.
You've done it before broadcast.
What's that? I did it by accident, dude.
I know, but I wasn't going to say that.
I know.
You did it. I didn't lie. What year was that you was doing?
I can't remember, but it was awful.
It was the Bats League.
Was the Bats League before it went all belly up? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, shit, how'd that happen? And I had it checked. I forgot to uncheck it.
Correct. Yeah.
Damn it. Yeah. Well, I even had some games with a DH. And I'm like, what? I don't do that. What am I doing with the DH? Because I fell under Steve Tate's spell for a little bit. Because you guys do in the Fields of Dreams League, you guys play with the DH. So you get to see more hitters. And Steve's reasoning was, this way you're seeing more all-time, this is an all-time greats team league. You're seeing more. And so I was like, yeah, I was cool with that. But now I'm like, okay, that's cool for Fields of Dreams, but I still play. I don't play with
the other main reason was they didn't like from 70 whatever going up, having the DH and pitchers not really hitting and having to have them hit.
Yeah, but I mean, get it. I get it. I mean, I think Steve's reasoning for that kind of league is sound. You know, I mean, I don't do it, but I mean, you know, because I was one of those people, you know, when it started to Shanks, I'm like, dude, I'm voting no for the DH, but you know, and Steve said, well, no, but here's, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I'll go with that. Phillips is almost done with his 61 project. His record is spot on with the real Yanks. Dwayne, 106 wins, 53 losses. Those 61 Yankees were nuts. I think our Red Sox fan a couple times did a series where he played the 61 Yankees versus the 27 Yankees.
Yeah, he just did that a few weeks ago.
Yeah, he did it like a year or so ago. He does that just occasionally. I've always contended, everybody talks about the 27 Yankees. It's like, well, you got to try the I think the 1936 Yankees were. I should probably fire them up, but I don't. There's something weird about having Lou Gehrig, you know, batting, you know, grounding out to Lou Gehrig. But I think the 36 Yankees were better than the 27 Yankees. I think 27 Yankees were a great team, but I don't think they were the greatest baseball team of all time. I've never thought that. Never thought that. Not on Dwayne, you're a Yankees fan, you might disagree, but I look at the 61 Yankees are just insane. The 36 Yankees, you got DiMaggio in his rookie year, and a hell of a rookie year he had, and Lou Gehrig has an amazing year in 1936. You had excellent pitching. I think that 36 Yankees, 37 Yankees, just as good as the 27 Yankees. I think the 27 Yankees was about everybody was Babe Ruth. But, you know, everything I've read, you know, like you look at like just primary sources, pitchers were actually more afraid of Lou Gehrig than Babe Ruth. I've actually read interviews, pitchers said, yeah, I'd rather pitch to Babe Ruth than Lou Gehrig. They felt Gehrig was a more dangerous hitter. Crazy, isn't it?
I think the reason the 27 Yankees, they was so much more better than their competition compared to the 61 Yankees, compared them to the Tigers. Tigers is right there with them.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's why they might be a better team, 61, but the 27 Yankees in their time period was so much better than any team they played against.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I can see that.
Because there were some damn good teams in 61.
I should let me look at I'm just curious because I mean, I don't know. See, now you're making, you know, and hey, man, I will rethink things. I mean, it makes sense to me. Why did I go?
I'm not saying they don't have like. I'm just saying I think that's why people think that.
I think you're right. I just went to MLB.com to look up history. Am I stupid or what? All right. Anyhow, because like there's no history on that site. All right, 1936 Yankees. Let's see where. I just want to look at the standings here real quick, in the for the Yanks in 1936. So they were 102-51 that year.
Yeah,
and
won the American League.
The Tigers. So the Tigers were 19 and a half back of the New York Yankees in 1936.
So they was a half a game back further than the A's was in 27. The A's was 19 games back in 27.
Yeah. So this 36 Yankees squad
team. How far back was the third place team in 36?
The Nationals, they were 20 out, along with the White Sox.
27 was in third place also, 25 games back.
So I would, maybe we could agree then that the two teams are comparable because the 36 Yankees ran away with it. Yeah. They ran away with it. But yeah, good point about 61, and the Tigers were tough in 61. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
You're right. But boy, you talk about the 27 Yankees. Holy shit. So people said in 1927 that the mistake, because the Pittsburgh Pirates were a tough team in 1927, but they made the psychological error of watching the Yankees take batting practice. Imagine that, right? Because that was back in the day when, right? So 1927, there's not even an all-star game, right? Leagues are autonomous, as they should go back to being, by the way. Yes, and so you never saw each other, right? Except maybe some spring training games or whatever. And so for the Wayner boys and all that, this is the first time that they're seeing, Musial and Ruth and Lazari and Gehrig taking batting practice. I'd probably be, there might be some truth to that, right? You're watching these guys just taking batting practice and you're like, we're dead. And they swept the Pirates in 4 and came back in 1928 and swept the Cardinals again. Yeah. And then 29, they got their asses kicked by the Philadelphia A's. But yeah, how about that?
Here you go. This is what they did against each team in 27. Against Boston, 18-4. Mm-hmm. Chicago, they was 17-5. Cleveland played them tough, 12-10.
That is tough.
Yeah.
There you go, Tim. That could be a sign.
Yeah.
Tim's not saying anything, man.
Yeah. 14-8.
Yeah.
Philadelphia was Phillies. Actually, let's see what the Phillies.
Philadelphia A's.
A's, yeah. Let's see here. The A's were 14-8. The Yankees was.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, because in 2 years, Philadelphia A's are just a juggernaut then in 1929. But wow, Cleveland 12-10 against the 27 Yankees.
Yeah.
Who was in the pitching staff? Was Kovaleski on that Cleveland pitching staff in 27?
Hold on, I have to click on them. And let's see, St. Louis.
Because you go 12-10 against, Murderers Row. That's
21-1 against St. Louis Browns.
Oh my God!
How did the Browns beat them one game? That's the question.
They probably had their whole bench in there that day, right?
14-8 against.
So it sounds like they dominated everybody except Cleveland.
Cleveland, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Cleveland won 10 games. Cleveland was the only team to win 10 games. Everybody else was single digits.
I mean, they were a tough team. There's no denying it. But I don't know. Were they the greatest of all time? I don't know. I'm just not. I mean,
weren't that good though.
What's that, Tim?
So the 27 Indians weren't that good.
Yeah, they played well against the Yankees. You're correct.
They're 66-87 that year.
Yep, but they beat the Yankees 10 times.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so the pitching staff was Willis Hudland went 18-12 that year.
And then it must have been the ace.
Yeah, then Garland Buckeye, real name, 10-17.
Oh,
Jake Miller 10-8. I thought I'd seen a Wes Farrell sighting. Yes, but he only pitched one game.
One game.
Yeah. So I don't know if that was his call-up year or that was his call-up year. 27 and 28 were his call-up years.
Okay.
The only thing I know about Wes Farrell, he could hit.
Yes, he could hit. Well, the other thing you should know about Wes Farrell is his brother's in the Hall of Fame.
Okay. Let's see if I pull his brother here.
So there you go. Yeah.
Oh, Rick.
Yeah, Rick. Yeah.
Okay.
So there. Now you got another Wes Farrell fact.
Pretty much.
He was a good hitter. He was a good hitter, though.
What does he have? Like 23 career home runs or something like that?
Who, Rick or Wes? Who are we talking about?
Wes.
Rick? Oh, Wes. Where is he? He was a good. From my understanding, he was like a good hitter. Like
38 career home runs for Wes Farrell.
Yeah. Well, I mean, his brother wasn't, but Rick Farrell's in there for his defense.
Yeah.
So, but I feel happy I at least was able to give you a Wes Farrell fact.
All right, guys, it's getting way late here. I'm gonna get going.
Yeah, it is. Same here.
Damn run differential in this.
Tim, thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate it.
No problem, guys.
Yeah.
How you doing, Tim?
All right, you too.
All right, bud.
Bye, everybody.
Night, don't forget, guys, please subscribe. Clee Baseball Fan 879. Anybody catching this after the fact? Because I know everybody in here is subscribed to Tim's channel. So anybody catching this after, please subscribe to Dwayne Mart's YouTube network, Philip Reynolds' channel, Aaron Reed's channel. I know I'll never be able to get Sean to do channel. I wish he would. He has a great voice for broadcasting, but he says, no, I don't. Chris Slovic, subscribe to that channel. While Dwayne's looking up stuff and just doing some thank yous, Chris was first in here tonight, way back, 2 hours and 51 minutes. So Dwayne, your record is in no danger of being broken. You still hold the streaming record.
Where's run differential out in Baseball Reference?
What's that?
Run differential. Where's that at in Baseball Reference? I thought it would be schedule and results. You know what I'm saying? Because it gives you each run. Gives you runs against. You would think it would have differential.
They don't have that?
I don't see it.
Let me look. You're still in 1927?
Mm-hmm. Clicked on the Yankee schedule, like it says runs and runs against. You would think they would have run differential.
All right, let me see here. Yeah, because I'm looking at. Oh yeah, okay. No, it's in standings.
Standings.
Yep. Okay. So what I did is I typed in 1927 American League, and you get detailed standings, and you get the run differential.
Okay,
then. So their run differential was 2.4 in 1927
per game, but yeah, I was talking about overall. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, right. No,
yeah, I seen that. Yeah,
I know that's weird that they don't have it, right?
Yeah, I seen that. That's per game. I was just looking at it, seeing what it was for the whole season, how many more runs they scored than they gave up for the whole season. It was going to compare that to 36.
That's a curious stat not to have in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see what you. Yeah. Right. I mean, unless it's in StatHead, but I quit. I gave up my subscription to StatHead. I wasn't using it. So, Sean says, you'll enjoy some baseball if you move to Sarnia, Ontario, Canada. Let me know. I need people to play with in person. Nice. He says, baseball reference says run differential totals. And yeah, but right, per game. Yeah. So what do you got coming up and when, dude?
Oh, I'll probably
this is my
try to get the 78 season done till end of May. So I got like 2 or 3 more games for the Yankees and about 4 to 6 games for the Braves. And I'm off Sunday and Monday, so that should be done. And then I'll get back to the bats.
So Philip, I would be absolutely chuffed. I'd love it if you come on. So get a new PC, man. And you are totally. I'd love to have you on here, man. Seriously, it'd be great. So it's yeah. I love just talking with the community. We're obviously not going to finish this game. Game is always secondary on my channel. This family is always first. This community, even Dwayne Martz. So you're gonna do some broadcasts tomorrow or what? Like the evening? In the evening?
Probably in the morning. Definitely
in the morning.
As long as I get up at a decent time.
Oh well, here I gotta fix this. So you're saying in the morning, like it is the morning. So you're gonna do one now, or I'm gonna give Philip his wrench here while we're talking. What's that?
Like 9 o'clock.
You know.
Yeah, 9 a.m.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I'm up, I'll be there, man. Yeah. I hate having to work for a living because if I didn't have to do that, right, and I could just concentrate on the show, I could catch all you guys, right? I could just catch all you guys, and
work's way overrated.
Yeah, it is. Oh, there I'm live. All right, now you're going to hear a little echo here for a second. Cool. All right, now I got to get Philip his run. Philip his run. I can't believe
Baseball Almanac has it.
So do you use Brave browser? You should.
You told me about it, but no, I don't.
Dude, there we go. Add as a moderator. So it takes away, like, there's no ads.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Philip, if you could just type something, you should have your wrench now. Yay.
Let's see here if Baseball Almanac has it. 27.
He needs a Phillips wrench. You should have it now. Oh, he says, what? No, I just gave him the wrench status. Maybe that should take effect right away, shouldn't it?
Right away, yeah. But you can only see it in YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You have to
there, yeah, I got it. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
I can see it now. Yay! Yeah. I can't believe this. Philip's been here at least 300 times. I never gave him a lunch. I'm an idiot. See, so that's sometimes Philip. I can hide my own Easter eggs. So thank you for the reminder. So that's what you got coming up. Good. And you're soldiering on with the World Series project.
Yeah, it was 2 months since I played game 1. That was ridiculous. So
I know, because you haven't said, "Hey, I need a new." I need a new whatever.
More regular.
Yeah, so that's what I'm watching. Like, because I was like worried. I'm like, oh my god! And then I looked and okay, it's game 2. Cool. He doesn't need a new poster yet.
Unfortunately, it looks like them stinking Giants are going to sweep them.
So has the the National League's been kicking ass in this World Series project?
Yeah, in this 1911, I think there's already like 10 or 15 home runs in 2 games. Both teams. It's crazy. Buck Herzog hit 2 home runs in game number 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that project, man. I seriously love your World Series project. Not that I don't like your other projects, but your World Series project is awesome. What a great way to learn baseball history, huh? About it.
Yeah, like I say, I got it because of doing that Super Bowl with Fast Drive.
Right.
Yeah, because I was going to do.
That's a long time.
PC, I had 50 to 2,000, whatever, in Action PC, so I was going to do that. And then when Out of the Park came out, I'm like, well, hell, I got every season in Out of the Park. Do that.
I love it. I think it's been so much fun, and especially as a National Leaguer, I've been very pleased.
Yeah,
boy,
undefeated.
Now the next one's like one of the classic World Series of all time, 1912. Woo!
That really happened. They might not have merged.
Giants, Red Sox, man. I'm telling you.
I told the American League to go take a hike.
Go take a hike. I know, right? Yeah.
The American League actually won the first World Series. So
it means my Pirates have 2 World Championships so far now.
Yeah.
So that's instead of just 1909. That was nice. 1903 was a little tough. That was a tough series. Your first one, that 1903, man.
Yeah, I think it went all 9 games.
Yeah, Bill Dineen was like a beast for the Reds. Well, what were they called then? The Americans or something. They weren't the Red Sox yet.
Because here lately they haven't.
Yeah.
I got them all in a playlist.
Yeah, Philip has a good question. He says, how do you get a no-hitter in Cards and Dice without a perfect game?
Walks and errors. Yeah. Almost had a minimum of 27 batters, but still wouldn't have been a no-hitter.
That's also
he had an error. He had an error until I forget what inning the Yankees did. So, like I said, and they got a double play, and I'm thinking to myself, he might face the minimum, but it's still not going to be perfect.
Now, here's the thing. Not only facing minimum batters, but there was apparently this happened. I don't know if it was in Major League Baseball history, whatever, but this pitcher threw a 9-inning game, and every pitch was like it was either a strikeout or a ground out. There, like he threw, like it was just.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Could you imagine? So he only faced. It was like I don't know where I read this. I wish I could find it, but it was like every pitcher or every batter was 3. It was most 3 pitches per batter. I don't know who it was or whether that was just something. Okay, so Philip says that's why he calls them shut. So actually, then going back, Philip, you actually mean you have 8 no-hitters going on. Okay, wow. Okay, because you had 9 hits and no runs. Because I was going to say you're talking about shutouts, but so you mean no-hitters. That's awesome. But I don't know. See now, damn it, I know I read that somewhere, but I don't know where. Oh my God, I couldn't even imagine. Like 3 pitches at most. So yeah, those 27 outs. That's hard. I mean, guy could pitch like a triple header.
Right.
I don't know. That might be something apocryphal, and maybe it's just because my mind is very diseased. Who knows? I've been practicing so much Magic lately that my head hasn't been really in baseball too much.
I was wrong though. 3 series won 8 games, didn't go to complete 9.
Yeah, but Deneen was tough though. He was tough in that series. So 19. I got to catch you.
6, and then you're starting. 06 was a sweep by the Cubs.
Yeah.
07 was 5 games. 08 was 6 games. Cubbies 1-6.
So Ty Cobb, just like in history, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't get a World Series ring. He because he didn't get one when for real.
09 was 6, and then 10 was a 4-game sweep. The Cubbies, they like sweeping.
Those Cubs are those dead ball Cubs are tough, dude.
Yeah,
they are tough. I mean, we were talking about great teams earlier. 1906 Cubs are considered one of the greatest teams of all time, and in real history, they got upended by the White Sox.
Yes.
So
yes, they did.
So which one did you say? Do you predict an American League win anytime soon? Where's 1911? Did you say right now? So
I thought these A's would beat the Giants. I really did. I think the A's got a better batting order, and their pitching matches up well against those Giants.
Yeah.
But it's sure not happening. The Giants are clubbing the pitchers. It was. Let's look. Bring up Digital Diamond. It's easier than looking at the videos.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, out of the park, rather.
Yeah.
The first game, I think, was 13-6.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It hasn't even been close.
Damn. Yeah, because I mean, those 1911 Philadelphia A's were they were ridiculous.
And I'm pretty sure that's what the first game was, 13-6.
Because in fact, the Giants right. They lose that. They did lose that World Series.
13-6 and 11-5. Let's see how many home. There was one. Lord hit 2 home runs in game 1. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 home runs in game 1. There is 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's been 9 home runs in 2 games.
Wow.
Yeah, and there probably wasn't 9 home runs in the whole damn series.
I know, right? Well, there's probably nobody that had like if somebody had 11 home runs back in those days was 9.
You got Buck Herzog and Bryce Lord with 2 home runs in one game. Lord had 2 home runs in game 1. Herzog 2 home runs in game 2.
Wow, that's crazy. As Sean says, he says, "Wow, 9 home runs in 2 games."
Yeah, it's nuts.
And the way these baseball games do things these days, I mean, most of the home runs back then were inside the park. But these are going to be. They're going to.
One of those home runs in game 2 was 568 feet.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
I don't even think you could hit. Well, no, that's not true. Hannes Wagner said that Sam Crawford used to hit some balls off of fences 500 feet away.
Yeah.
So, but you'd imagine how incredibly strong you'd have to be because the ball was wound so loosely, misshapen, spiked, discolored in the dead ball era.
Yeah,
you couldn't hit that. And the other thing is too is a pitcher's speed, right? It's just physics, right? Force, force. And those guys weren't throwing, again, they weren't throwing 98 every pitch.
I'll tell you another thing, too, it's taking pitchers out early.
It is?
Yep.
That's in the world's, that's kind of.
Chief Bender, 3 1/3. Now, don't get me wrong, 6 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned. But here's Christie, 7 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, and they took him out in the 7th. That was in game 1.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I mean, you would have to, because I know
that was being up. They was up in the 7th. They was up 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-4. And
see, you can't change manager tendencies, I don't think, in the tournament mode either. Right.
No, that's up until this year, it really hasn't been a problem. But
yeah, I've never seen that in the
22 games.
See, I've never seen that in the regular. Like if I'm doing just a regular season in out of park baseball, it plays dead ball.
He took Rube out. He 5 innings, 7 hits, and 3 runs in game number 2. He got the win. But yeah, now Eddie Plank went 5 1/3, 5 hits, 6 runs, 4 of them earned. Again, took him out rather early, I thought.
So I got to ask you, man, are you chomping at the bit to get first to 1914 for the Braves? And of course, the Yankees, right? 1921.
Yeah, exactly.
Their first World Series. So you got to be like, come on, man. I want to get to these are my two favorite teams. Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when we start getting into the 30s and 40s when you start knowing players for me better.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah.
See, when I'll start losing you,
will
be like once you get to the 2000s, I'll be like, who's that? Like, who the hell's that? Yeah. So I don't know, but I'm kind of glad in a way. I mean, I know it was kind of out of necessity. I'm kind of glad you're taking your time with it, though. I mean, it's and hopefully it gives people time they want to watch some baseball. It's like, yeah, Dwayne's got this really cool World Series project going on.
Imagine if the damn computer, if my computer wouldn't have took a shit, I don't know where I'd be, because I played a lot of games of that because that was the only thing I could play.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, but I mean, I love it. I think it's just a great way to learn about baseball history and about the first dynasties in baseball.
Oh, exactly.
And, because I mean, people think of dynasties, and you're pretty much thinking the Yankees, Cardinals. I know you're not a Cardinals fan, but winningest team in the National League, and all that kind of stuff. But people forget, the Pirates and the Cubs. I mean, they were dynasties in the early days, and so were the New York Giants.
I did 4 World Series within a week or two. Back when that computer took a shit on me.
You were kicking it.
That was the last time I did the World Series was playing on the old laptop. It was 2 months ago.
Oh wow, yeah. Because I was surprised. I came online tonight and I saw that you did a World Series. I'm like, wow, Dwayne, it's been ages.
Yeah, 2 months.
Philip says one of his shutouts was almost perfect. 2 hits in game, a single in the 9th, and the next batter has a home run. That really hurts.
Yeah.
And he says he had one shot blown or no hitter blown in the 9th.
I tell you that I'd rather lose the no hitter on a double or extra base hit than a.
Oh yeah, you don't want to lose it on a single.
Yeah. Or and the play right before that, was 53. So obviously it's going to be a chance for an error, and it was a fly ball to center field. It was a 16. I believe. I think it was a 16. It was either 16 or 17. A fly
I
ball
love it. I love it. Half the players just read. It was a 16 or a 17. Yeah. You guys.
Yeah. And got fielding column 1, so he made a great play. Yeah. Nice. So I said it in the video. That might have just guaranteed him the no hitter. One more out to go, and that should have been the hit. And sure enough, I rolled a damn 66.
See, you'd never talk about a no hitter, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this is a team you hate.
All right.
But even so, you just want that no hitter. You just want it to happen.
If they was no hitting the Yankees, I wouldn't be rooting for it. I want a no hitter on the channel. That'd be a freaking awesome.
Yeah, but dude, here's how messed up I am, though, and I get that, like on our channels. Because like if I'm playing a game offline, I don't even like if I see there's a no hitter going, I try to like not think about it. It's like
I don't think about it. I'm good at that.
I can't, dude. I'm looking at like that 0 up there in the middle column on the line score.
I'm pretty damn good at it because I can take a picture.
Well, I know because you take a guy out with a no hitter. I know.
I took Larry McMurtry out of the no hitter in the World Series when I played the '83 Braves back when I was 13 years old, and the Braves didn't win a game after that.
How to manage a pitching rotation by Dwayne Martz if they're pitching a no hitter, and especially if they're a
nowadays. I'd be a great manager because you do it all the time now.
Oh, I know you all the quality. So Dwayne, you actually, without knowing it, invented the quality start. So,
yeah, exactly. And I had pitch numbers before there was pitch counts and all kinds of stuff. I was saving him for next year. Yeah, bullshit. Yeah, it was. I took him out in the 8th inning, and again, I didn't know it until I finished the game, and I brought Terry in.
Right.
There was a bunch of lefties coming up for the Orioles because you know how the Orioles platooned.
Oh
with old Earl and all.
Oh, Earl was all about the platoon.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, even though it wasn't Earl's team, he had already retired in '83. I was out to Belly's first year, but it was still Earl's team. I took Larry out, game number 1 of the World Series.
Wow.
They won that game. I think it was like 1 or 2-0. That's one reason I took him out too. It wasn't like he was killing them.
Sean says they didn't deserve to win a game after that move. Dwayne, glad they lost.
They sure did deserve it. Yeah. After that, Baltimore swept them in 4 games.
That's funny. That's right. No pulling hit pitchers with no. But you know what? You got to give Dwayne credit, man. At least he owns up to it. You know, that's balls, buddy. Because like you want. Because I know for me, if I would have pulled Whitey Ford, I'd want people to fucking forget it. But you're you're cool about it. You're like, dude, I pulled Whitey Ford.
Yeah.
So you know,
I think it's awesome.
He's one of your heroes, dude.
Yeah. I mean,
oh my god.
That was like when I was watching Legends and Bob Gibson in the playoffs, and I think you was on there that night, and I'm like, take him out, and he's like, you don't go out there and take Bob Gibson out.
Yes, that was hilarious.
I said, yeah, you do. He says, that's easy for you to say. I said, I know. I'm in Hagerstown, Maryland.
Oh my god, I lost it. Yeah. That was funny as hell, man. Because
I probably would. I'd do it, Tommy Lasorda. Give me the fucking ball. I'm the manager. You remember that in '78?
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I don't know. To say that to Bob Gibson? Ooh, I don't know, dude. I mean, I'd only say that to Bob Gibson if I was like fucking Joe Frazier or something. You know? Give me the fucking ball. Bob Gibson might listen to Joe Frazier, you know? Yeah. But I don't know, man. So there was a game. So apparently Bob Gibson would always he'd hit rookies. And I read a story just recently, Dwayne, where he would hit if he felt somebody hit a home run off him and he felt like he showed them up or something. There was an old timers game and this dude hit a home run against him. Next time up, Bob Gibson fucking hit him.
Yeah, he did. Let's look it up. I'm sure it's on here.
I love it, man. The more I read about Bob Gibson, the more I'm like, he would have been such a cool guy to meet, man. Intimidating as hell, though, right? He just.
Oh yeah.
Phillips says, "I hate the Yankees with Stafford and Terry." Oh, they're great pitchers, man. Great pitchers. Stafford and Terry. Dwayne, you did 61 was last year. You did, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was that last year? Yeah. Okay. So he wants to know where the video is for the Whitey Ford.
It's in the playlist in 61. You just have, I don't have it labeled as that, but yeah.
Yeah, you should go back and edit it. So I pulled Whitey Ford in a no-hitter. Yeah. Dude, you'll get, your channel will grow, all the hardcore, all these baseball fans are like, what? Boom. And you get about 500 more subscribers. No, but I think it's cool. I think it's cool, man.
The last pitch Bob Gibson ever threw was hit for a grand slam by Pete Croc. A decade later, there was an old timers game at Wrigley Field where Croc stepped up to the plate and Gibson hit him. So it goes back to his last pitch before he retired. He hit him. Fucking crazy. Man had a memory like an elephant.
No kidding. Oh, he says it means the actual video of the beating. Oh, geez, I don't even know if is that even out there anywhere?
Yeah, it's on Facebook. I just pulled it.
Oh, no, but I mean, if there's if somebody ever videoed that, because that would be something.
Yeah.
But he would. Another guy that was like that too. It was a headhunter. Was Don Drysdale.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what Hall of Famer said that he dug in against Gibson, forgot Gibson was on the mound, stepped out, apologized, stepped back in, and he still drilled his ass.
Oh, I read that too, and I don't know who it is.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was. Yeah. It might have been Hank Aaron, but I'm not sure.
I mean, because you look at I've watched film, on YouTube of Bob Gibson. I never saw him play. But you watch those films, man, and Gibson was just all about he was just scary. And then that windup, right? His follow through. It's like he's falling off toward all legs and arms and falling off toward the first base side. That delivery, but he had he was all about intimidation.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, he tried to beat you before he threw the first pitch. Too.
Oh yeah, yeah. He definitely knew. He played the psychological game. I think maybe, you know, again, I don't know whether I mean, I know Drysdale wasn't afraid to go head hunting, but I don't know if he was a Dodger fan. Would have to probably tell me whether he was as intimidating. Those. I mean, right? You're talking about a Hall of Fame hitter stepping out and apologizing.
Yeah.
You know, you don't. You know,
I think Drysdale hit people because he was pitching inside, trying to establish the plate, not because he was mean-spirited. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
yeah.
right.
It was part of baseball. Oh, you're going to crowd the plate? Well, I'm going to drill you, and the next time you come up, you're giving me more of the plate. Where Gibson was, I'll drill your ass, and the next 5 times you come up against me, you'll be scared I'm going to put one in your ear again.
Yeah. Oh, Philip, I have no idea, and I'm a Pirates fan. He says, "Who's the Pirates banana pitcher?" Because I don't know. I mean, if you're talking about delivery, it would be Tekulve, but I have no idea. I've never heard that. I've been a Pirates fan all my life and never heard this. And there's only like 4. I wish Chris was still here. I'm sure he's not. There's only like 4 Pirate fans that I know of in this community, maybe 5. So we're underrepresented. It's too many Red Sox fans in this community. God, I can't believe how many Red Sox fans are. What's that?
I rooted for the Pirates in '79.
Thank you, Dwayne.
The Orioles. Everybody around me was Oriole fans. I couldn't stand the Orioles back then. I couldn't stand Chuck Thompson. I hated him. He was fucking a homer announcer. And then
Pirates came back from behind and won it.
Yeah.
Oh no, not the Reds, Philip. Reds are fine. I'm saying there's a lot of Red Sox fans.
Yeah,
buddy. I'm not talking about the Reds. In fact, so you, Big Clue, Aaron Reed, Dave Little are the 4 Reds fans I know of in this community. So Reds. I mean, now the Reds and Pirates clashed a lot in the 1970s. You know, so there was a great rivalry there. But no, I have a lot of respect for the Reds organization. I do. Not a big fan of Marge Schott back in the day. I'm not a big fan of her, but Reds.
She was a dog lover. You should have really liked her.
Oh my God, I know. Well, you know, and here's the thing, though. I'm a vegetarian, and so is Hitler. So hey,
right. See, you should have married him too.
Yeah, right.
Right. Resonates. You're very good.
There you go. So those World Series, right? And it's, Philip, you're talking, right? 72, 73, the Reds and the A's. Oh my God. Tough rivalries. Yeah. Cincinnati Reds, man. Be proud. Be a fan of that team. Definitely. I'm trying to think who the most, like, if I'm trying to think of like some clubs like that I haven't met any fans of yet. Now, again, my channel's not that big. I'd probably have to hang around Al Red Sox's channel or Dave Gardner when he does baseball. So I'd love to get a sort of, I don't know how to do it. I'd love to find out in this entire community, like who everybody's favorite baseball team is. I'm going to bet that the Red Sox are going to be, I mean, it just seems like there's more Red Sox, but I wonder like who has the second most fans and the third and so forth. Right? Because I think you might be are you the only Braves fan around here?
I'm not sure. Might be.
Yeah. I don't know of any Padres fans around here. I know of like, I think 2 Astros fans. Of course, Robert, he's a Mets fan. Yeah. I think this Legends, I think, is a Mets fan too. I think. Chris is a Pirates.
I know he's not a Yankee fan. For living in New York, he doesn't root for the Yankees.
Yeah.
Then you got ID. He's a Cardinal fan.
Oh, diehard Cardinals fan. I know, right? Bernie, Red Sox, of course.
Yeah.
Only team wire to wire with a perfect season. 1869, Philip. 1869, the Cincinnati Red Stockings. So, quick story about them. They win every game in 1869, start the 1870 season. They go to Brooklyn to play, and it's tied at 9th. Now, they could have just ended it as a tie, but Harry Wright decided to do a thing that was new called extra innings. So the Cincinnati Red Stockings lost that game, but it was very, very the great sportsmanship of the mid 19th century. He wires back to Cincinnati. It was a valiant game by both teams, but we came up short. Attendance dropped dramatically. Nobody went to Cincinnati Red Stockings games anymore, and Harry Wright took the best Red Stockings players, moved them to Boston, and dominated the National Association. So there's that little story. So 1869 is the year. Glad you got it in the 1860s, though, my friend. Yay! But I think, is there like a white? I thought Baseball Demos was a White Sox fan. I know what's his name. The German guy is a White Sox fan. The guy that used to be in the Fields of Dreams League. Remember that guy?
Yes, the MD's nemesis.
Yeah, well, I pissed him off too because I did you were very close, Philip. Yeah, because I did like a doubleheader. I did like 2 weeks. I can't remember
his real name, but his team was Berlin.
Berlin, yeah, and he was, he was
He's the one that made MV really dive into, because he was doing daily lineups.
Yes, and he was pissed because I did 2 weeks. He's like, I didn't have a chance to get my lineups in, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
I'm like, wow. Yoko, the only Phillies fan. Yoko's hardcore Phillies. Yes, I think so, Sean. Now, Sean, correct me. I keep forgetting. You're a Yankees fan, right? Is that your favorite team, the Yankees? I can't, because I know you were kind of like, but I thought the Yankees were your team, though. I could be very wrong. I don't know of any Giants fans. I'm trying to think of any Giants fans. Okay, so you're considered a Blue Jays fan. Okay. All right. So, yeah. Not modern, but old. Okay, right, yeah. So, big fan of Joe Carter, and maybe even a bigger fan of Mitch Williams. So, for obvious reasons.
Touch them all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run than this.
How about it, right?
I hated that.
Oh, man. I don't know. I was watching that game, man. Mitch Williams.
Anytime I rooted for the Blue Jays was against the Phillies, just so the Braves wouldn't be the only goddamn team to lose to a Canadian team.
Oh, right. I don't know. That game, though, I'm watching Mitch Williams come to mound. I'm like, I just felt like, okay, this doesn't look good. And Joe Carter proved me right.
Yeah.
Because I was rooting for the Phillies I was
rooting for the Blue Jays just because the Braves wouldn't be the only team to let the goddamn trophy go to Canada.
Well, I had to root National League, dude. And then, Mitch Williams just throws a fucking beach ball and boom.
The Braves would have beat the Blue Jays the year before. I was rooting for them.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a big home run. I mean, that was Bill Mazeroski.
Of course, I should cuss the Yankees in the American League for allowing them to get there.
Yeah. That's the thing, though, man. That's where Tim was talking earlier about rosters and stuff like that. You can't. It's like I can't even keep up with who plays for whom anymore. It's like back in the old days. I mean, people pretty much stayed with maybe one, or maybe they played for two teams. But now, man, like Andrew McCutchen was a Pirate, a Washington National, a Philadelphia Philly, a New York Yankee, and now he's back with the Pirates. But it's like, holy shit! And he never wanted to leave Pittsburgh, though, to begin with. But we traded him anyhow. But I can't keep up with who plays for whom anymore. I really can't. So Sean says he likes the Yankees from the 20s, 30s, 61, 78. That's not enough to be a fan. He says, I can't jump on the bandwagon. Never been that way. I cheer for the Yankees at times in real life. That's okay. No, I mean, that's cool. I get that. I was cheering for the Mets this year because they were playing the Brewers. Right. So not knock the damn Brewers out. So I was happy. I was very happy that the Mets won for that game. But now, obviously I gotta see now. See, it's tough. I might not have to root for them again, maybe, huh? I guess. Because I don't want the Dodgers in the World Series. So I guess I have to root for the Mets, don't I? Holy shit. I never thought I'd say that.
I was rooting for the Phillies to beat the Mets.
Yeah. Well, the Phillies, man, they just can't put it together anymore in the postseason. I guess I'm gonna have to root for the Mets. So I'm rooting for the Mets in Cleveland. Rooting for the Mets in Cleveland. So tomorrow night's game, 8:15. Dodgers and Mets.
Well, they play Sunday. I knew the American League started on Monday.
So yeah. Now when National League starts
today.
The National League is game 2, right? Yeah, because game 2. Game 1's tomorrow. Yeah, it says game 1
today.
So game 2 is or today. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's today now, isn't it? The 13th.
Yep.
So it's game 1, Mets Dodgers, and then Monday is game 2, and then for National League, and then game 1 Guardians and Yankees, and they're playing in the Bronx. Dun dun dun. So, well, man, this has been fun. I think it's probably time to jump off here. I just realized 3:37. All right, so
you say your goodbyes, man.
Well, I'm just it's the stream's going on too long now. Can't do that. So yeah, you take care too, Sean. Man, I'm glad you were on and come back sometime. I'm not on as much as I used to be, but hopefully catch you around in the next one. So he's going to catch up in college football. All right, peace, man. Hey, Dwayne, good catching up with you too, brother.
You too, buddy.
All right, man. All right, everybody be good. And next time, whenever that is, Philip, thank you for hanging out. Everybody else. And next time, see you around the batting cage. Dwayne, catch you soon, buddy.
You too.
All right, man.